Welcome to the channel and to this 2,000 point match play game between Deathwatch and Tyranids. So today on the channel, the city of Saracen Mons is burning as a splinter of Hive Fleet Kraken rushes down towards it. It's a 2,000 point match play game between Tyranids and Deathwatch. I'm going to say Deathwatch. It might be Death Guard, it might be Death Company, it might be Death Wing. There's lots of death in the 41st millennium, and I'm sure to get it wrong at some point. So what we're playing is Vanguard Strike Deployment. The Tyranids are going to be on this table edge, rushing in 12 inches away from the center mark there, and the Deathwatch will be deployed on this side of the battle grid, deep in Saracen Mons, defending this Hive city. And we're playing Retrieval. That's the very first one in the main Warhammer rulebook. So there's 4 objectives on the table. Obviously the entrance to the city being a very critical location, and this set of ruins here, this set of ruins there, and the central roadway running through Saracen Mons is a very critical location. And at the end of the game, whoever controls more objectives wins. And you've got First Blood, Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker. It keeps it nice and simple. We've placed the objective markers where narratively it makes sense. I got to pick deployment zone, so that's why I picked this one over here, because narratively it made sense to me. And joining me on the channel for the first time is Joe. Say hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Thank you for coming down.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You live quite close, to be
Yeah,
honest.
it is relatively close. So it's about a 45-minute drive to get here.
Yeah, and normally people spend hours and hours and hours, but it was nice, pleasant, and it's pleasant outside at the moment.
It's a very warm day.
It's going to get hot in here.
Yeah, it's gonna get sweaty.
But it's going to get hot in here, but we'll not take off all our clothes.
No.
And you've got a podcast.
I do. It is look out, sir. It is Look Out, Sir 40k.
Look out, Sir 40k.
We go on Podbean, Podsprout, YouTube, Spotify.
Right.
We do fortnightly every Saturday.
Every Saturday.
Comes out.
Can I be on your podcast, please?
Definitely.
Thank you very much. And you talk about all things 40k.
All things 40k and other things. We go on weird tangents.
Right.
Like last one, I ended up doing a 20-minute rant on WWE for no reason whatsoever.
Nice.
And I like to occasionally get in random 90s cartoon references whenever possible.
I like it.
Yeah.
Those type of podcasts are the best ones, though, aren't they? Where
Yeah.
people are just talking.
Yeah.
So 40k is the anchor to them, but you
Yeah.
like to go off on rants here, there, and everywhere. As I don't know if you watch DZHQ, but me and Liam are often want to do that.
Yes.
Just talk about random stuff that comes out of our brains. And there might be a few people who recognise you because you work for
Triple Helix War Games.
Triple Helix
Yeah.
War Games. So don't sponsor this channel. This channel's sponsored by Element.
Yeah.
Games.
It just happened that I worked there.
Yeah. So you play quite a few tournaments. You play in quite a few events,
Yeah,
which is nice as well. And you showed me images of your army before you turned up. And as I'm not a tournament player, I was very, very scared at the original all storm shields, all storm bolters.
It was just the storm of Deathwatch, basically. But no, I've dampened it down a bit. Got rid of some of the broken stuff and put in some fun unit.
Yeah, fun new units.
Yeah.
It makes it more, because Deathwatch versus Tyranids can be a bad matchup at tournament levels.
Oh God, yeah.
With all the specialist ammunition, so you dampen it down a little bit, but your list still looks very strong to me. Let's do some shout outs. This battle mat is from Hot Dice Miniatures. They're a Canadian land company, double-sided battle mats. These chunky terrain pieces here are from GameMat.eu. They also do battle mats. The craters in this battle mat are from urbanmats.com. The MDF terrain pieces that you see around are from P-Work War Games, which also do battle mats. And the dice and the objective markers that you see and the command point tokens that we're using are available from deploymentzone.tv. For more Winter's SEO battle reports, check out deploymentzone.tv. Okay, sneaky little bit of capitalism marketing going on. I think we've covered everything. Have we covered everything?
I'm pretty sure we have covered everything.
Saracen Mons is about to get nommed by the Great Devourer. It's a bug planet. It's an ugly planet. Can the Deathwatch stand firm? Let's go and have a look at these armies. Right, this is 1999 points of Tyranids. It's a double battalion, so I've got 13 command points to play around with. And of course I'm using Hive Fleet Kraken because they're painted up like Hive Fleet Kraken, which means I roll 3d6 when I advance and pick the highest. And I can fall back and still charge. And leading the army will be a Neurothrope. I've got 2 Neurothropes here, but the Brain Bug will be my Warlord, and I've given him, her, it synaptic linchpin. So the synapse range for this creature is going to be 18 inches instead of 12. Of course, any Tyranid units that are in synapse don't have to take morale tests. So 12-inch range, 18-inch range, 12-inch range, 12-inch range. There's also Shadow the Warp, which is a -1 for enemy psychers to cast within 18 inches. And there's Instinctive Behavior, which kicks in at 24 inches. But you overrule all those rules so long as you're in Synapse. And Instinctive Behavior rarely kicks in. If it does, we'll let you know what happens. Anyway, my Warlord's got Catalyst. This one's got the Horror. I'm bringing the Turvagon. She's got Catalyst as well. And she can spawn little Gribblies. She can, if the unit loses casualties, then she can spawn 10 into it. And I've given her the relic, Kraken-specific relic, Chameleonic Mutation. So she's going to be -1 to hit. Because she's a character, but because she's got more than 10 wounds, she can be targeted. The Broodlord has got Onslaught. Now, Gene Stealers and Broodlords can move and charge, move and advance and still charge. And Onslaught allows you to advance and still charge. So it seems a bit weird giving the Broodlord that psychic power, but he can only do one. It's either Smite or Onslaught. And him being able to cast the natural ability that he does means that I've not forgot it yet when I've given it to the Broodlord. So that's my reasoning for giving it to the Broodlord. 2 big squads of Termagants, 2 tiny little squads of Hormagaunts, and I've brought along a squad of warriors who also have Synapse and Shadow in the Warp. With bone swords. Now, I know bone swords aren't the competitive choice for these guys, but they just look really cool, warriors with a pair of bone swords, and they're troops as well. And because I got a Broodlord, I brought along some Gene Stealers. There's 14, I think. 14 Gene Stealers there, with Rending Claws and Scything Talons. And, yeah, floating around in the elite slot. 3 units of Pyrovores. These are quite good in Kraken because their Flame Spurt cannons are assault. And in Kraken you can move 3d6 and pick the highest. So they're deceptively fast and they auto hit with those flamers, which is quite nice. A unit of Venom Thropes. Now, Venom Thropes grant a -1 to hit to anything within 6 inches, and it stacks on monsters so long as there's 3 of them. As soon as one of them dies, it'll only affect the little Gribbly units. That -1 to hit is not cumulative with the Spore Cysts on the Screamer Killer because he's a natural -1 to hit, but it is cumulative with a Chameleonic Mutation on the Turvagon. Not that I'm probably going to keep them close to her. The Venom Thropes are probably going to move up and try and provide some screen with the little Gribblies. So it sounds rather gamey, suddenly having a -1 to hit everything within 6 inches of these guys, but they are toughness 4 with a 5-up save. So they've got barely more than a t-shirt save, and they go down very, very quickly. And it's 90 points for 3 of them. So what people do when they bring competitive lists is they bring along a Maliceptor instead, which is a Forge World choice, which is also 90 points. But it's a character and can't be targeted. These are not characters. They can be targeted. Dreadeffects with a Rupture Cannon. Exocrine with his big cannon. Screamer Killer, and a unit of 6 Zoanthropes. Zoanthropes have got a 24-inch range smite, and when there's 6 of them, they do extra smite damage, and they need 2 psychic powers. As soon as there's 3 of them, it just goes down to 1 psychic power. So I gave them Psychic Scream as well as Smite, so they'd be smiting and Psychic Screaming. So what I've got here is just a couple of shooter units, big shooter units here, and the Pyrovores. All the little guys are shooty as well, but they're mainly bolt guns, strength 4, 12-inch range bolt guns. There are some Stinger salvos flashing out, but it's not a very shooty list. It's mainly get in your face, nom away list. So I had to really bring the Neurothropes along for that smite punch, for that psychic scream punch. Otherwise, I'm going to rely, if you don't have that psychic scream, if you don't have that smite punch in a charging Tyranid list, then you're going to be doing most of the damage in the assault phase, and you can't rely on just doing damage in one particular phase. You need your psychic might. And Tyranids, to be fair, can bring lots of psychers very quickly, very easily. Anyway, that's my list. I decided what I wanted to do here is bring many bugs. So that's how I ended up with 2 battalions. I just started writing a list, like how many bugs can I get on the table to swarm the city. I thought it would look really thematic, and I thought there would be a really high body count, and we like it when there's a high body count. So that's it. 1990 points, 1999 points of Hive Fleet Kraken. It was a good year, as Bone would say. Right, let's go and have a look at the Imperial forces. Okay, this is 1991 points of Deathwatch, and it's a battalion, and then the one with the elites in it? Vanguard, so that's 9 command points Joe's got to play with. Deathwatch have mission tactics.
Yeah.
So what Space Marines do is they, Ultramarines have the fall back and shoot, Blood Angels have wound everything, but Deathwatch have mission tactics, which does what, sir?
It allows me to pick either HQ, troops, fast attack, heavy support, elites, super heavies, and basically I get to reroll 1s to wound against units from that codex slot.
Okay. So does it happen on tanks, or is it just dreadnoughts and infantry?
It's just dreadnoughts, spikes, and infantry.
Dreadnoughts, spikes, and infantry. So at the start of the game, you've got +1 to wound versus either troops or HQs or something like that.
It's reroll 1s.
Reroll 1s to wound.
Yeah.
Nice. But you can change it at some point during the battle.
At the start of the battle round, I can pay command points to swap it.
Okay.
My Warlord,
Yes.
who is the Watch Master,
Yes.
he has a relic called the Tome of the Ectoclades. At the start of each of your turns, pick a mission tactic. Until the start of your next turn, you can choose to apply either of the effects to units within 6 inches.
So can you pick multiple units within 6 inches of him?
So it's a 6-inch bubble. So say, for instance, you've got 2 squads of veterans and a dreadnought.
Yeah.
The veterans are being affected by troops, and then the Tome of the Ectoclades, you choose heavy support, and the dreadnought can get the reroll benefits for that.
So many re-rolling 1s to wound.
Yep.
And around this guy, you can actually pick the tactic that he wants to. And a Watch Commander's got re-roll everything's to hit within a 6-inch bubble of him as well, right?
Yep.
And that affects everything, including the tank.
Yeah.
Warlord trait?
He has the Lord of Hidden Knowledge,
right?
Which gets a command point back on a 5+ whenever I do stratagems.
Okay.
And he also has a once per battle free reroll of to hit, to wound, or damage rolls, or saving throws.
Basically, command point farming on a 5+, which is quite nice, and you got that 1 free reroll. Who's this chap stood next to him?
He's a watch captain with a jump pack and a thunderhammer.
Basically a smash captain.
Basically, yeah. I had the model, so I thought I'd use him.
He's very nice, and he's Raven Guard as well, painted up as Raven Guard. I like it. What else are we looking at?
We've got 4 squads of veterans with 2 storm shields in each and a frag cannon in each.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go too beardy, but the rest of the guys have got storm bolters.
Okay.
We've got 2 Contemptor Mortis dreads.
2 Contemptor Mortis dreads, yeah.
One's got double las cannons and one's got double auto cannons.
Yep.
I've got 3 Venerable dreadnoughts.
Yep.
2 with las cannon missile launchers and 1 with an assault cannon and a fist.
Why'd you bring the assault cannon guy? He's typically not very good, I think.
But I really like the model.
He's a cool model, yeah, but I can't remember calling me running an assault cannon dude this edition.
Well, I thought I wanted a dreadnought that I could run up the table with my infantry, and assault cannon would be more shots over the las cannon.
Yeah. And so he's going to be running forward, spraying lead all over the place, and hopefully punching Tyranids to death.
Oh, definitely.
I like it. Okay, that makes sense.
And I've got 2 units of aggressors with the bolt storm gauntlets and the missile racks.
Yep.
The Sakaran battle tank.
Yep.
Who's got 2 las cannons, heavy bolter, and the accelerator auto cannon.
Yep.
He's a very fast, very mobile tank. He gets to ignore negative modifiers when shooting at units with the fly keyword, but that doesn't really matter against your army.
No.
So in this case, he's just a bullet magnet.
So, but that accelerated autocannon is like 8 shots.
8 shots, strength 7,
Seven.
-1, 2 damage.
Yeah, mini shot autocannon. This thing can move 14.
Yeah.
But it's toughness 7 with a 3-up save.
Yeah.
I don't like. I think it should either be toughness 8 with a 3-up save or toughness 7 with a 2-up save, because it's Forge World and it looks very, very pretty, but it could do with that little bump. Also, this one doesn't have Power of the Machine Spirit or anything, so if it moves, it's sitting on 4s.
Yeah, but the accelerator cannons are assault.
Ah, okay. So you got 2. It's only going to affect the 2 last cannons on the side.
And the heavy bolter.
And the heavy bolter.
And then
a Libby.
And a librarian with a jump pack.
Yep.
And a force axe.
Yep.
I've given him Might of Heroes and Null Zone.
Cool.
I quite like Might of Heroes because you can have fun little scenarios by amping up watch captains.
Yeah.
Or dreadnoughts to go in and punch stuff.
I do like putting Might of Heroes on dreadnoughts as well, making toughness 8 dreadnoughts with extra attacks, and yeah, it's a good one. Null Zone almost impossible to get off, but could work.
Yeah.
The other thing we should mention about Deathwatch, for those that don't know, is that these guys have special issue ammunition. Now, they've still got the bolter discipline rule, so if they stand still, they can fire their rapid fire stuff twice. That only affects bolt round weaponry. And then but they've also got 4 different types of ammunition that they can shove in their storm bolters, right?
Yeah.
And this will be increases to wound, either wounding on 2s with Hellfire shells, or increases to AP, or increases to range. Yeah. So you can get them up to AP -1, AP -2, or get extra range, or use bolter discipline. Yeah, they've got different types of bolt shells they can shove into their bolters for different bits of damage at different times. It means they're very flexible versus different armies. That re-roll to wound rolls of 1 army wide, which can be changed, means that they're quite flexible. You can pay command points to stick them in reserve and teleport onto the battle grid as well. Yeah. You've got some jumpy dudes jumping around, so they're going to be deceptively mobile, particularly if you choose to deep strike everything in. Mind you, all the objectives are in your... Well, 3 of the objectives are close to your deployment zone. So to win this game, I'm going to have to come swarming forward. So it's a nice list. I like it. I do like the Deathwatch, you know. I'm thinking about getting some. Been thinking about getting some for a long time. Because who doesn't like just heroes of the Imperium? I think you said didn't know which chapter to play with, so why not play with all of them?
Yeah, I'm a very indecisive person. So.
So you've got Imperial Flists. There's a Flesh Terror there. Raven Guard, Space Wolves, Ultramarine at the back. I like it. Honoured Brothers, taking the black, standing on the wall. Right, let's go on to deployment. And we're deployed for this 2,000 point match play game as the Tyranid swarm descends towards the burning ruins of Saracen Mons, and sticking every Tyranid unit down on a table at Vanguard Strike deployment was very tricky. And I moved a few things around. Sorry about that.
That's all right, it's pretty tight.
It was a tight fit. So I put the Zoanthropes and a Neurothrope out here because 12-inch line from the second. They are somewhat exposed in the city, and there are las cannons out there, but to be honest, I've said it off camera, I'll say it now. They're a bit of a bait unit. They've got a 3-up invulnerable save, and if you fire loads of las cannons at the stuff with the 3-up invulnerable save, then you're not firing at my big shooty things over here. Now the wall is going to prove a little bit tricky for when we're targeting infantry units. Line of sight is very restricted until the Tyranids breach the wall. However, the big bugs can see over the top of the wall, and so can the dreadnoughts. So they'll be firing either side of the barricade. And I've essentially tried to squeeze everything as close to the 6-inch aura of the Venomthropes, that's the word. There, so pretty much everything here has got a -1 to hit bubble. Little bugs at the front, except for the Carnifex that just, distraction Carnifex charging up the table. Big bugs at the back. My Warlord is tucked in here with Catalyst, and then the second Neurothrope is over here with the Zoanthropes with the Horror. And then any thoughts on your deployment, Joe?
I've basically gone for I call it the Hulkbuster unit.
Hulkbuster unit.
Yeah, so we've got the aggressors and the punchy dread. They're going to try and stem the flow at the gates.
Okay.
And then the...
and you told me aggressors as well don't have specialist
ammunition. No, they
ammunition.
don't. They've just got normal bolt guns and a grenade launcher, which is the bolt gun stack,
Yeah.
but basically.
But they got bolt with discipline, so
Yeah.
if they stand still, they're re-rolling it.
They've got, if they don't move, they get to shoot twice.
Oh, yeah.
And they have got power fists, so
Okay.
that we can kind of like hold you up for a little bit, and
Yep.
then that gives the guys holding the main street a chance to get into a decent position.
Yeah, because let's not forget, two of the objectives you're already sat on down
Yeah.
there. It is the Tyranid's intention to get to the juicy meat, which is running screaming the civilians in this city. So you have to hold the main roadway.
Yeah, it's going to be a fight to get to those other two objectives, though.
Yeah.
We're going to be teaming over them pretty quickly.
So first blood is a thing. There's no first strike. So I can't get that critical point, but well, I could get that critical point if you don't get the thing. Yeah. But with first strike, you could get it and I could get it. But with first blood, only one of them is up for grabs. Therefore, if you're on two objectives at the end and I'm on two objectives at the end, first blood could be quite critical. Right, the way this worked is we went backwards and forwards deploying units all over the place, and whoever dropped all their units down first gets to pick whether they go first or second. And you deployed way before me. Would you like to go first?
I would like to.
Okay. Which means I have a chance of stealing the initiative. There are a lot of las cannons out there. I haven't got much shots in my army, but I could move forward and do some psychic stuff. So I'm going to attempt to steal from you, which is rude because you're a guest.
That's fine.
That's rude. Stealing's bad, kids. Don't do this at home. I didn't do it anyway. Didn't roll that fabled 6. So instead, we're going on to Deathwatch. Turn 1. Here we are after the Deathwatch movement phase. The Astartes move forward to defend Saracen Mons. The only thing staying still are these two squads back here, the Dreadnought and the squad holding that ruin, that objective. The tank over here, even these Dreadnoughts moving forward. And the aggressors, of course, advancing because they couldn't advance without suffering the negative to hit modifier thingy. So a push forward to meet the Tyranid threat. The Librarian's down here, and he's casting Might of Heroes.
Yep.
On which Dreadnought?
On the Punchy Dreadnought.
Punchy Dreadnought. These
Yeah.
are 6, I believe.
Yeah.
And that passes. I'm out of denial range, so that goes off. He's got an extra toughness.
Yep.
Any more?
We'll try and put on Null Zone. Why not?
Okay.
Just in case.
Need an 8. And that passes.
Yeah.
So if I get within 6 inches of the Librarian, I don't get an invulnerable save. It's going to be fairly impossible to do that, but just in case.
Yeah, just in.
Right, let's shoot some guns. Starting up the shooting phase, this Carnifex here is being targeted by the veteran Dreadnought. So you moved, so it's -1.
Yeah.
And then Sporcis, so it's -2.
So, fours. I do get to reroll the ones because of the captain.
Nice. Both
Good
hit.
hit.
That's good stuff.
Wounding you on 3s.
Yes. And...
1 wound.
oh, we forgot to ask, what's your chapter tactic thing?
So, mission tactics. I'll
Yes.
do reroll ones against troops. Because
Troops?
there are so many of them.
I've got about 100 of them. So is it the troop slot or is it infantry?
Troop slot.
Troop slot, okay.
Yeah.
I've got 6 troop slots out there.
And
so-
my Tome of the Ectoclades.
Yes.
So the Watchmaster.
Yes.
He's going to do heavy support.
Reroll 1s for heavy support. Okay. 1 wound came through on the Carnifex. It's
Yep.
-3 at last cannon, so I need a 6. And I don't get 6. D6 damage on the Carnifex. It's 6. It's a nice, healthy hit. And then the missile launcher will flash out and hit on a 4.
Hits.
Which hits and wounds on a 3. Which wounds -2. No, D6 damage. And we have a dead Carnifex, and that is first blood. Next, measuring up, the aggressors are out of range. 18-inch range,
Yeah.
right? For the Boltstorm Gauntlets and missile racks on the back, is
Yeah,
it 18?
all the same.
Okay. So we're on to the Punchy Dread with the Assault Cannon and Stormbolters. I assume it's got Stormbolters.
He does, yep.
Firing in at the Venom Throats.
Yep, so
You moved, and they're -1 to hit naturally.
Yeah.
So is this a veteran?
he is a veteran, yep.
So forced to hit with the Assault Cannon. 6 shots. 6 shots. They used to be 4.
6 shots. Oh, God, I'm living
So
in the past.
7th edition.
There we go.
Re-rolling 1s. No 1s
No
there,
ones.
but 5 shots get through. And you're winning on 3s.
Please, only 2.
And they're not a troop slot.
No.
But they do have a 5-up save, which becomes a 6-up save. And you wound one of them twice. They have 3 wounds. 1 more wound to get through, and then the Stormbolters can unleash.
They're always bolted drill, aren't
Yeah,
they?
always bolted discipline because it's a dreadnought. So 4 shots, 3 hits, force to wound, 2 wounds, 2 5-up saves, and I lose a venom throat and 1 takes a wound. Right, now I'm down to 2 venom throats. That -1 to hit bubble will not affect my 2 big shooty monsters. So perfect order of our operations. We're now moving down to the Contempt Dread with 4 las cannons, firing in at one of the big monsters. It's -1 to hit because it moved. Which big monster are you picking on, Joe, Sir Joe?
We are going to go for this guy.
Execrane. Okay.
Execrane. So it's -1 because he moved.
Yep.
Normally hitting on 2s.
Yep.
So.
And re-rolling 1s because of the watch commander?
Yeah, no.
Okay, 3 hits get through. Wounds on 3s, and you re-roll 1s because you're chapter tactic. What is it called? Chapter tactic, mission tactic?
Mission tactic.
Mission tactic.
There you go.
Okay, so 2 get through at -3. I need 6s on my Execrane. I don't get any 6s. 2d6 damage. And that's 6. Next up, firing the twin autocannon Contemptor Dreadnought. And it can't see the Execrane. So instead the shots are going in at the Tranifex.
Yep.
These are 3s to hit as well because you moved. But many shots. And you re-roll everything because of the watch commander?
Because I normally hit on 2s.
Yes.
It's -1 because I moved.
You don't re-roll
You
the
don't
2s.
re-roll it because
Yeah,
its re-roll misses.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do the re-rolls and then you apply the modifier, so the 2s would fail. It's 5s to wound, however, re-rolling 1s, because I am toughness 8. 3 get through no matter what. And it's -1, 2
Yep.
damage each, so I need 4s. I finally make a save, and the Tranifex loses 4 wounds. Next up, the Sakaran unloading everything into the Tranifex. This didn't move, so 3s to hit with the twin accelerator autocannon, re-rolling misses. And then at strength 7, toughness 8, you're looking at 5s to wound. And re-rolling 1s because of your chapter tactics, mission tactics. 4, I see 4 people.
4, yeah.
4 4s. I fail all of them. That's 8 damage. The Tranifex is down to 2 wounds left. And now we have 2 las cannons flashing out through the ruins. And both of them hit. 3s to wound. And both of them wound. 6s to save. Fail the saves. I've made 1 save so far. And that's 2d6 damage. I have 2 wounds left. That's a dead Tyranifex. That's second blood, which goes nuts on a 6. He doesn't go nuts. And that's brilliant shooting by the Deathwatch. Now the last dreadnought left to fire, and I think the last thing that is in range and line of sight is this dreadnought that stood still, and all she can really see is the Trigon, the big girl at the back. She's got -1 to hit because of her chameleonic mutation. She's blending all red into the rocks around her. So 2 las cannons, hitting on 3s.
No reroll this time.
Okay, winning on 3s. And that wounds, and I need a 6. Nope, d6 damage. She takes 4 wounds, and then a missile launcher flashes out, and hitting on a 2 normally,
Yep.
right? So that hits. And wounds,
Yep.
and I need a 6. I don't get a 6. And that's 2 more damage. 6 wounds in total. She's down to 8. We found some more guns. Kraken rounds, specialist ammunition is +6 inches to range. So these 2 squads unloaded into the zone throats and killed one. And I spent a command point trying to keep one alive and still killed one. And so I've lost a zone throat. And that is the end of turn 1 for the Deathwatch. Lots of heavy firepower smashing out from Saracen Mons, destroying 2 of my monsters, a Carnifex, a Tyranifex, hurting the Velenthropes. Fortunately, I have no morale to take because Synapse is a thing. But that was an auspicious start from the brave Astartes defending this city. Now let's go on to Tyranids, turn 1. Here we are after Hive Fleet Kraken's first movement phase. The swarm begins to move forward. Lots of advancing on this flank here. Remember, Kraken can roll 3d6 and pick the highest. So what I did is move the zone throats round here because they smite an extra 24-inch range and they hit the closest thing in line of sight and range, which will be the aggressors. And I moved the Neurothrope over this way because she's got a 20, or it, or he, or whatever. It's got a 24-inch range horror. And I need to stop some of these las cannons flashing out and hitting me. So the idea is to horrify that dreadnought over there. Won't stop it hitting me, but it will make it -1 to hit. So some push with advancing moves around here. And I think pretty much everything around here advanced as well. Except for maybe the Broodlord, bit of a road jam, traffic jam, and the Exocrine who stood still so it can fire twice. So that's it for my movement phase. Now we need to go on to the psychic phase. And I was and ahhing about whether to put Catalyst on the... Oh, at the end of the movement phase, rapid regeneration, 2 command points spent. Heal D3 wounds on my Turvagon. For 2 wounds, so she's back to 10. And I was thinking about putting rapid regeneration on the Exocrine. And minus is to hit the... Sorry, Catalyst on the Exocrine to keep it alive. But there's so many las cannons coming out. Do I put it on the Exocrine or do I put it on her? Let the dice gods decide. 1, 2, 3, go on the Exocrine. Okay, it's going on the Exocrine. So starting off the psychic phase, the Neurothrope down here is going to cast Catalyst on my Exocrine. I need a 6. And I can re-roll 1s for every Zoanthrope unit within 6 inches of the Neurothrope. And the Zoanthrope is the Neurothrope keyword. So Catalyst works. You might be in denial range if you want to deny it. Bear in mind that you can only deny one thing and there's going to be lots of things coming out.
I'm going to let you keep that.
Okay. So the Catalyst will ignore wounds on a 5-up and then the Neurothrope will smite. And that passes and that's a super smite. Would you like to try and roll a 12?
I'm going to try and roll a 12.
Okay, good luck. Boxcars coming up. No.
Far
Super smite.
away.
D6 mortal wounds. It's hitting these chaps over here. And I roll a 1. See? I rolled a 1. Now I could command point re-roll that, but it's the start of the psychic phase and perils is a thing. Let's command point.
6, they're all dead.
Really?
Yeah, they only got 2 wounds each.
Ah, okay. So let's command point re-roll that. I rolled a 2. I killed 1. Alright, let's go on to the Neurothropes. They're going to smite. It's now a 6 because it's match play. 5 becomes a 6. And that fails. I can re-roll 1s. See, and I've already spent the command point. And that smite that these guys kick out would have been 2d3 mortal wounds.
Oh.
Happy about that? That's good.
A little bit.
Would it kill them? They can do 2 psychic powers as long as there's more than 3. I've got Psychic Scream in there. This is a 5. That passes. That would have been a super smite if I managed it. This is d3 mortal wounds. For 1. I hurt one of the aggressors. Right, let's go on to the Neurothrope. Firing, trying to put the horror on that Dreadnought. I need a 6. And I can reroll 1s. And that passes, -1 to hit for that Dreadnought. And then this Neurothrope will smite, and it needs a 7 now. And that passes, it will do d3 mortal wounds on this squad down here. For 1. Worst psychic phase ever. Right, that could have been a better psychic phase than I'd have planned. With all the smites and the psychic screams and the 2d 6-inch smite, I was hoping to kill this unit of aggressors here, because when they stay still next turn and they unleash hell, it will be very painful on my swarm. But then we moved on to the shooting phase. This unit advanced, so it could fire some guns. There were about 8 in range, and I have wounded this chap once. If you roll a 3, he dies. Please roll a 3 or less. No, there's a 3, he saves. So that's the end of the shooting from the swarm in the middle. And the only other gun I have left is the Exocrine. I really need to kill one of those Dreadnoughts. So let's spend, I think it's 2 command points on Pathogenic Slime, which gets its damage from 2 to 3. And it will fire 12 shots in and this las cannon missile launcher venerable Dreadnought here. My ballistic skill is 5, but because I stayed still, I fired twice and add 1 to the ballistic skill. So I'm hitting on 4s against that Dreadnought. And that was perfectly no, that was 5 hits. 5 hits, and it is strength 7, your toughness 7.
Yep.
So I need force to wound. And I get 1 wound at -3.
Wow.
3 damage. 6-up save. You fail the save.
Damage.
It only takes 3 damage.
6 up the feel no pain thing.
Okay. It only takes 2 damage. And that's the end of my psychic phase. That is the end of my shooting phase, and I've killed 1 aggressor. Hive Fleet Kraken, over eager, charging forward, shooting bullets and mine bullets. This wall getting in the way, and the brave Astartes digging in and holding firm. They've taken very little damage. So let's move on to Deathwatch turn 2, and let's find out how much the Space Marines punish the Swarm. Here we are after the Deathwatch movement phase. Most of the units coming forward. They know no fear, keen to meet the Xenos as they come racing down towards Saracen Mons. One of the units of aggressors had to move because you want your smashy punchy dreadnought to get into combat.
Yeah.
And there was a bit of a roadblock there, and vehicles can't go through walls. Vehicles need to go around. So one of the units moved. The other unit stayed still, so that'll be firing twice. And we've got dreadnought staying still. These two had to move forward because their line of sight down the roadway in the middle was a bit tricky. What are you thinking, Joe?
Part of me really wants to just get stuck in and try and take you on in combat.
Yeah. You were measuring up with your not so stealthy Raven Guard to jump over and try and charge my Warlord, but I think it was like a 9-inch charge.
Yeah, I thought maybe he'd try and end the battle as quickly as possible, taking out the Hive node, but I think common sense got the better of him.
Maybe next turn. And around here, these squads are moving forward with their special issue ammunition, and I think it was the tank and that squad in the backfield are the only ones standing still. They've been ordered to hold this sector. They've been ordered to hold the key objective, which is the roadway in that ruin over there, and hold it they shall. So let's go on to the psychic phase. What are we doing in the psychic phase, sir?
So we're going to start off with the Might of Heroes on the brave, punchy dreadnought.
This chap here?
Yeah.
Where is your librarian right now?
He is just here.
That's back there. Okay.
So
Might of Heroes, I think it's a 6,
it's
right?
a 6, and it goes off.
Okay, that's -1 because of shadows.
Yeah.
Maybe. Let's measure up. Not in shadows range, but you are in denial range. I need an 8. I've denied you. No Might of Heroes. The power of the mind, hive mind compels you.
He's going to have to go old school.
What we doing next?
And then we're going to do a smite, which is going to go off on the little gribblies up front.
Okay, kill some little bugs. And that passes. And this unit will try and deny that. And what did you roll, a 10? I rolled a 10.
I rolled a 9.
Okay, so did I deny that as well?
You do.
Brilliant. So the psychic power of Hive Fleet Kraken come into effect there. Both of the Deathwatch's psychic powers have been denied. But I'm sure we will not be able to deny them in the shooting phase, so let's shoot some guns. A bit of an edit. The Watchmaster is using his relic so that everything within 6 inches of him can fire at HQs, rerolling ones to wound. Because there's the second in command, or the second brain bug floating away down here. And once you kill the screen in front, then you could potentially wipe out this little niggly unit that's sweeping into the ruins already. Right, we're going to start off the shooting phase with what's there, going where?
So we're going to start off with the unit that didn't move of the aggressors who get to shoot twice.
Okay.
And they're going into the front unit of termagants.
Okay.
So I'm going to do the Boltstorm gauntlets first.
So it's all of these shots.
All of these shots.
Hitting on
3s. Actually, no, we're hitting on 4s.
4s, re-rolling 1s.
Yeah.
Wow. After the re-roll, 12 shots came through. So you're winning on 3s because you're strength 4. And re-rolling 1s because of your chapter thing. I keep forgetting the name of it. It's not chapter tactic. Mission tactics. So all of these, I need t-shirt saves.
Yep.
And then we're going to have more shots coming in at the same time from the missile racks. 6s. I saved 4 of them. So I lost 9 bugs so far. Then the Fragstorm grenade launchers unleash a hail of ammunition. And this is D6 shots, so this is many.
10, 14, 15, 17.
17. Hitting on 4s and re-rolling those 1s.
Which is lucky.
Many 1s. 9 wounds came through, wounding on 3s. And re-rolling 1s, no 1s, a couple of 2s. So a couple more t-shirt saves coming up. And I saved 1 of them, so 6 more bugs fall. So I think I've lost 15 or so bugs so far, and then the second aggressor squad doesn't like the colour of the jib of these bugs, so they're unloading in them as well. But firing only once each because they moved. Re-rolling 1s still.
Yep.
And then wounding on 3s, re-rolling 1s because of the mission tactic. There's a 1. And you get 4 wounds, 4 6s. Another 3 more bugs die. Re-rolling ones because the captain there, the grenade launchers did 4 wounds, 4 sixes. I don't save any of them. 8 termagants remaining in that squad, and now the veteran dreadnought is spooling up his assault cannon and raining hot rounds into them. Hitting on 4s.
Oh, damn. Oh.
No ones to re-roll, only 1 hit. It would re-rolls the 1 to wound. It does a wound and it's -1, so the assault cannon, strangely enough, only kills 1 bug. Not that one, that one. And then the storm bolters, these will be 3s. 3 2s.
Word.
It does wound. And I failed the save, so the dreadnought, strangely enough, only kills 2. Now we're moving on to the other dreadnought in the backfield, putting his twin las cannon and missile launcher into the exocrine here. No minuses to hit. 3s. And rerolling the 1s as the captain stood in front of him, shouting at him. 3s to wound. 1 gets through. Commanding? No, I heard that. You've still got.
I've still got a lot to
9.
go.
You haven't spent a command point yet. Or are you going to hold on to it?
I'm going to spend a few in a moment.
6 up save. I make the save. Oh wow! First 6 up save I made. Missile launcher streaks through the air and slams into the exocrine and doesn't wound it.
Oh my days!
I think it's the first time your big guns have failed you. Don't worry, you've got many left. Right, moving on. Joe's digging out stratagems. What are we doing, sir?
I thought it was time to spend some.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use the Synaptic Severance,
Right.
which allows a Deathwatch unit from my army to target a synapse creature,
Okay.
even if it's not the closest.
Nice.
So we're going to go for the breakaway brain bug down there.
Not my warlord.
Not the warlord.
You're
no.
going for the breakaway one.
Yep.
Okay.
With the contemptor.
Okay.
With the double auto cannons.
Right.
And he's going to be using the Purgatus Doctrine as well.
That sounds delicious. Do you put cream on it?
You probably need to, especially after this. And that basically allows a Deathwatch unit to add 1 to their wound rolls for targeting a HQ choice.
Okay, cool. Because your strength 7 and that's toughness 4.
Yeah.
So instead of winning on 3s, you're winning on 2s.
2s, and then I get the reroll 1s from the Tome of the Ectoclades relic.
It's like you know what you're doing.
Yeah. But I do get a command point back on a 5.
Oh yeah, because you've... Yep.
I do.
Okay, so that only costs you 3 command points instead of the 4. Right, and let's fire lots of auto cannon shells from your Mortis Contemptor.
Okay, so hitting you on 2s.
Didn't you move him?
I did move, so I'm hitting you on 3s, but I'm rerolling the 1.
Yep.
Nope.
Okay. And winning on 2s, rerolling 1s because of all the combos. I like it. Right, this is -1, 2 damage a pop, but I have got a 3 up and vulnerable save. So, and there's 5 wounds on this thing.
5, yeah.
Yeah, so 3 ups. And I failed 2, it's on 1 wound left. So the breakaway brain bug managed to withstand that firepower from the Contemptor Dread. You really want him dead. So this squad are going to unload Hellfire Shells, winning on 2s at the Hormagaunts that are screaming him.
Yeah.
And you are in rapid fire range with those Storm Bolters. You're just out of flamer range with a Frag Storm, but we'll start off with the Storm Bolters. 3s.
3s.
Are you in reroll anything range?
I'm not, no.
Okay.
Because they've been balled off on their own.
Winning on 2s, Hellfire Shells. That's what they do. Rerolling 1s because they're troops.
There we go.
That's a beautiful thing. I am in a ruin. So my 6 up becomes a 5 up.
Yep.
And that doesn't help me at all. You still kill 6. Leaves 4 Hormagaunts left. Now the frag cannon is going to shoot at the Hormagaunts. Assault 2, hitting on, that'll do it.
That,
strength really high. What is the strength of this version?
Reroll
the 1s. I think it's
the
strength
1s.
9
I think
or something, isn't it?
at this range it's strength 8.
Strength 8.
So
and minus
2.
Okay, so 2 more are dead, leaving just 2 Hormagaunts left, which will still keep that Neurothrope screened, interestingly enough. Right, to kill those last 2 Hormagaunts, the Watch Commander is going to step up and be the hero we need, trying to take him out with his Guardian Spear. He hits on 2s, and he rerolls 1s, because he's in range of himself. Yeah. And you're using the Hellfire version.
Well, yeah, I'm going to use wound on 2s and the reroll 1s.
And it's -1, you say?
It is, yeah.
So I need 6s to keep these 2 little bugs alive. If these bugs die, then that Neurothrope is going to get unloaded on from this second squad over here. So 6s, and I make a 6. Right, and then there were some lols.
Yeah, so we've been doing lots of line of sight.
Yeah.
It turns out I've scuppered myself by the position of one of my dreadnoughts. So the horrid Contemptor dreadnought with 4 las cannons
Yes.
is going to try and kill 1 Hormigaunt.
Yes, because it's the only thing left in line of sight and range that can see a Hormigaunt, which will allow these guys to come into play.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? You moved.
I moved and horrid.
Horrid.
So 4s. Oh.
Re-rolling 1s, but not the 3.
Yeah, and then we're wounding you on 2s.
You've wounded it. It's minus a lot. You've killed a Hormigaunt with las cannons.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like a big man now.
It does leave the Neurothrope exposed, ready to take on all the firepower from this uninjured squad here. Right, bit of a debate there, because if these guys fire Hellfire shells into the Neurothrope, you're not in rapid fire range, but you will be winning on 2s. Or you can do Kraken rounds, wound on 4s, but you are in rapid fire range,
Yeah.
so you get more shots. So more shots, less wounding, or less shots, more wounding. What are you doing?
We're going to do less shots, more wounding.
Less shots, more wounding. Okay, so 8 Stormbolters coming in. Hitting on 3s.
Which is good.
Yeah, and then you're wounding on
2s.
2s.
We're out of range for the HQ, so
Okay.
there's no reroll 1s on that.
So all I need is 4 3s to keep them alive. And I can't even command point one of them. You do succeed in your mission.
Excellent.
The second brain bug is torn down. There's still synapse here with the warriors. Oh, and the zone thropes are synapse themselves. It took a lot of firepower to kill 10 Hormigaunts and the
It did,
Neurothrope.
annoyingly.
But at least they have finally achieved this mission, and the psychic might of Hive Fleet Kraken is suddenly diminished. Right, looking across the lines, there's 3 units left to fire. This squad of veterans, the Dreadnought and the Sikaran. Not so sure what's happening with the Sikaran and the Dreadnought yet, because the Deathwatch are in a target-rich environment. But this squad of veterans are unloading on the zone throats, trying to shut down my psychic potential on this right flank here. So, winning on 2s again?
Yeah, we're on 2s.
Okay.
Tried and tested.
Are you in range of your captain? Looks like it.
It looks like it. We will test.
Let's definitely say yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So 6 hits,
Yeah.
wounding on 2s. And they're not troops.
They are not troops.
So 4. 4 get through. 4 threat and buttons. I failed 2.
Yeah.
1 is on 1 wound left.
And then a frag cannon.
Yes. Hits twice.
Strength 8 at this range.
Wounds twice. 3 up and bun on the first one.
It's
And
2 damage.
dead. And then the second one.
It's fine.
Okay. So 1-0 zone throat. 0 throat. Zone throat falls.
Zone thrope.
Zone thingy. He's dead.
Yep.
Now the Dreadnought's going to unload las cannons and missile launchers coming in at the Exocrine. So no minuses to hit. Hit on 2s. And both hit. Wounding on 3s. And they don't wound.
I'm going to use a reroll.
Are you?
Yeah, why
Okay. And it wounds.
Okay.
I need a 6. I don't get a 6. D6 damage for 4. It's on 2 wounds left. Oh no, 1 minute. I've got Catalyst. It's on 3 wounds left. Now the missile launcher hits. 3s to wound. Wounds. 5 up save. 3 wounds left. I make the save. The Exocrine is somehow hanging in there. Now the last thing left to fire is the Sikaran. Line of sight severely restricted by the roadway. Soon we will breach the side of the planet and the Death Star will be shooting down into the city. But for now, Sikaran pumping all the shots into the pyrovores here. They have got heavy flamers essentially, so next turn they could be problematic for this Deathwatch force. Anyway, 8 shots coming in hot. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling because of the Watch Commander. Strength 7, toughness 4. Wounding on 4s. And pyrovores have a 4 up save and 4 wounds, so these become 5 up saves. And 2 of them die. And when they die, they explode, but they can potentially explode, but they only hurt enemy units.
Oh, okay then.
Within range. Cool, so 2 of them are dead, and then 2 las cannons smashing into them.
Both miss. 1 hits.
1 hit is all you need.
No.
Doesn't wound. So 1 is left alive, and that is the end of the Deathwatch shooting phase. So my dead pile is getting deader, and that is the end of the Deathwatch shooting phase. How do you think that went?
It went very poor for me.
Yeah.
The world's most resilient unit of Hormagaunts held me up there.
Yeah. If that hadn't happened, then there would have been more las cannon rounds coming into my big bucks in the backfield. Are you charging? Are you considering any charging?
I considered charging, but I think in this situation I'm better off taking the charge.
Taking the Overwatch?
Yeah, because I've got 2 aggressors there, which have only got 4 attacks each. Well, 4 attacks between the 2 of them.
Yeah.
They're going to be hitting on 4s. So.
Are they? Oh yeah, because they're power fists. So you're going to stand firm, lock legs, and unload a hail of shots on Overwatch when I come charging in. Sounds like a plan. You have taken out about a third of my army, but it's about to be turn 2 for the Tyranids, and there will be some charges coming in.
There's going to be a lot of termagants with small but annoying firepower, which can kill Space Marines.
Yeah, and unfortunately for you as well, you didn't wipe out this entire squad, so I'm going to spawn 10 into it. I think it's the start or the end of the movement phase, but right now I'm within 6, and at the end of the movement phase I'll make sure I'm in range. So 10 of them are going to be coming back. So there is 6. There will be 16 as we go into Tyranids, turn 2. Here we are at the end of Kraken's movement phase. The swarm closes in for the kill, and Gene Stealers can move a very long way and charge. And with Kraken rolling 3d6 for their move, they're all the way around here. And I think it's a 4 or 3 inch charge into this squad here. Now, there is frag cannons. That isn't a done thing, but there is 14 Gene Stealers, so they should be okay. Backed up by the Broodlord, Zoanthropes. The squad of Termagants that got hit and got nearly wiped out. You have to spawn bugs at the start of the movement phase wholly within 6 inches of your Tervagon. So I think I got 6 or 7 in there before I advanced them round here. So they're going to be hitting on 5s instead of hitting on 4s because they advanced. And I didn't get the full 10 back. But I still got some free models. So I'm happy about that. Warriors pushing forward and everything else pushing forward. Now, I need my psychic phase to be better than the last psychic phase. Or even better than your psychic phase where I blocked everything.
That was awful.
So let's shoot some mind bullets. Start off with the Tervagon. She's going to smite. She needs a 5. And that passes. Would you like to try and deny the 10?
I'm not going to get close enough, so I'm going to let that through.
D3 mortal wounds. I'm looking at this one. It looks really line of sight and range. It might hit them. We'll measure up in a second, but it does this number of mortal wounds. For 2. It hits the Dread. It's venerable. Ignores on 6s. Doesn't ignore either of them. The Dread is down to 6 wounds left. I really need to kill this Dread with mind bullets or with the Exocrine because it's going to be painful punching that thing punching back again. Going on to the Broodlord. It's got Onslaught and Smite, can cast 1 psychic power. I don't need to Onslaught anything, so let's Smite. This time it's a 6, and that passes. And this time it's going to hit the squad of veterans in front of me.
I'm going to try and
deny that.
Try and deny that
It's
one.
a 9. Near. D3 mortal wounds on the veterans for 3. Deathwatch definitely don't like Smite, as Joe just said to me, but to be honest, it's really my only shooting apart from the Exocrine. So now the Zoanthropes will Smite, and this will be a 5, 6, 7. And I reroll 1s. Actually, no, I reroll 1s within 6 inches of a Neurothrope, which is over there. So I don't reroll that 1. That's a fail. So now I'm going to Psychic Scream. And both of the smites from this unit, which are nasty smites, you know, do a lot of damage. Psychic Scream. That passes. That would be D3 mortal wounds for 3 more. That squad have been wiped out.
Yeah.
This Neurothrope's going to shove Catalyst on these Gene Stealers over here. I need a 6. They are now Catalyst up. They're going to ignore wounds on a 5 up. They're going to be deep in enemy territory, so I do need to protect them. And now it's going to Smite, and that's a, what was it? 5, 6, 7. This is an 8 for a Smite. It's going to hit the aggressors. And that fails. And I'm thinking about command pointing it, because you've got 1 guy on 1 wound left, and I've got 7 command points. So let's command point that. I need a 3. That passes. D3 mortal wounds on the aggressors. I kill the aggressors with mind bullets. Awesome. So I'm failing the powerful super smites with the Zoanthropes, but making it up for it elsewhere in the list. Nice. Right. Shooting phase. Let's unload the Exocrine into this Dreadnought right in front of the lines there. I do get 12 shots. I'm on 3 wounds, so ballistic skill is still 5. It doesn't get worse than a 5. Some hit on 4s because I stayed still. 4s to hit. Bit better this time. 7 hits at strength 7, toughness 7, 4s to wound. Oh no. 2 get through, and it's -3, so 6s. And then it's 4 damage, 6s to deny for the venerable thing.
So 3 go through.
So it's down to, it's got 3 left still. Interesting. 3 wounds left. The only thing the Pyrovore can fire at is this Dreadnought. The acid spray is D6 shots, auto hits at strength 5. And it does 1 wound at -1 on your Dread, which you save. Really need the Dreadnought dead. So I'm spending a command point and shooting all of these Termagants into the Dreadnought. There's a squad of 30 there, but 3 haven't got line of sight or range. So 27 shots are coming in. I'm hitting on 4s, but re-rolling 1s because of her. And at strength 4, toughness 7, I'll be wounding on 5. So I spent a command point on Scorch Bugs. So I'm wounding on 4s. So hitting on 4s, re-rolling 1s, wounding on 4s, re-rolling 1s because there's more than 20 of them. After rolling a hit, rolling wounds, 7 wounds got through, 7 trip saves on your Dread. And you fail 1 save, which you then get 6 on. No, okay, I did a wound. Then I thought about spending 2 command points on single-minded annihilation, which means the Tyranid infantry unit, the bugs, would immediately fire again. And they would still have the benefit of Scorch Bugs until the end of the shooting phase. But the Dread's on 2 wounds left. And the only thing that the Warriors are really going to charge is that Dread. I don't think I'm going to be able to make a charge further up the battle grid there. So instead I decided to tickle it some more with this unit of bugs here. And I got 4 wounds. So you've got 4, 5, 3 up saves. And you fail 1 of them. And yeah, it's down to 1 wound left. So all I need is 1 of these wounds from the bone swords on the Warriors to get through. I will be wounding on 5s, but it is AP -2. So probably that's enough to kill it. So that means the Stinger Salvo from my Trigon can fire out at the aggressors behind and hopefully plink 1 of them off. But this does hit on 4s. It is strength 5, however. And I wound once at -1. So I'm not going to kill an aggressor, but I am going to tickle it and make 1 of them lose a wound. And I think that's the end of my shooting phase. That was better. Along with my psychic phase, I finally killed a squad. And 2 squads, in fact. This squad here and that squad there. So now we're going to charge. Gene Stealers are going to go charging in to this big squad of veterans, or little squad of veterans. And let's roll the Overwatch on camera, because the Fragstorm cannon is 2d6 auto hits.
I'm going to pay 2 command points.
Right.
To give me +1 to wound against troops.
Okay.
I can't remember the name of the...
Right, start a new turn. Do you get it back on a 5?
No.
And let's do the Fragstorm on camera.
So it's
6.
6 shots.
And this is strength 5 or something?
Strength 6.
Is it?
-1.
Nice. So these are wound on 2s then.
Now. And I'm re-rolling 1s.
Everything wounded anyway. Yeah. Okay, so 5 up and vulnerable saves and Catalyst. Look, I made 4.
Oh wow.
2 die, and then we'll do the other shots off camera. Then more shots came in from the Stormbolters. Didn't kill any more Gene Stealers. Should mention, talking to Joe off camera before I went into that long narrative about what I'm charging and how I'm charging. I said beforehand that I'm charging this unit as well, and then I picked up the camera and completely forgot. So we're doing Overwatch with this squad as well. Both of these squads firing in at these Gene Stealers. The idea is I try and slingshot into both of the squads, and the Fragstorm Heavy Flamer Thingy Bob of Doom is out of range for the Overwatch for the Gene Stealers from this second squad. It sounds like tactics.
It does.
Let's do some even more Overwatch. Even more Overwatch? That's a sentence now, that works. Yeah. What?
Yeah. Okay, I don't think I'm in range of my watch captain. Watch master.
Okay. So this is 6s with the second squad.
Yeah.
And Hellfire, right?
Yep. And then 2s, and then we have the 1.
Okay, so you killed 2 so far. 5 up and Vuns and Catalyst. You killed 3 Gene Stealers. Now let's see how far they can make the charge. Looking for a nice healthy charge to get into that second squad. That's a 9. You know, that might do it. After moving the models, we end up here. So when this one piles in, he will pile into the closest model and shut this unit down from shooting. And then the rest of the attacks can all go into this squad of 4. There is 2 storm shields there, so they're going to have to lock shields and protect themselves from all the rending claws, keeping a little bit of a tail back. He won't be fighting. He's not within an inch of someone within an inch, but he is within 2 inches of coherency. So in range of the Broodlord, because Gene Stealers can +1 to hit rolls when they're within 6 inches of a Broodlord. Then the Warriors charged in. The Warriors charged into the Dreadnought, and one of them's down to 1 wound. And now I'm thinking something silly. I'm thinking maybe send the Hormagaunts into the Captain, not because the Hormagaunts can kill the Captain, but you won't be able to fall back and charge something next turn.
Yeah.
You are Deathwatch. With the fly thing, you can fall back and shoot still, right?
Yes.
With jump pack, but you can't fall back and charge. And if I don't tie you up, you can jump over with your Smash Captain and go to work. You could land here and then maybe charge him a Warlord. But if I do charge your Smash Captain, then probably the Librarian will intervene, heroically intervene. But then you shouldn't be able to kill every single one of those Hormagaunts, and they are in Synapse range. So I only need 1 left alive. So yeah, let's charge. They're going to go 8. We'll do some Overwatch and move some models. So the Hormagaunts end up the little bugs end up here, keen to open up this tin can and get to the soft meat inside. Librarian heroically intervened. Right, Joe's got 3 command points left. So he would probably intervene with the Dreadnought.
Oh, definitely.
He could intervene with 1 of these squads here, but I've got 5 up in Van and a 5 up Catalyst, so he'll do less damage. So I need to start here with the Warriors. So the Warriors will strike that Dreadnought. They have 3 attacks each, but they have a pair of Bone Swords, which give them extra attacks. So that's 12 attacks, grabbing some dice. 12 attacks, hitting on 3s with a chunk of Bone Swords. Nice. Strength 4, so I need 5s to wound, but it is AP -2, and I did 1 wound. And you got 1 wound left on that thing, right?
So I need a 5.
You need a 5, and then a 6 to keep him alive with your venerable
Do
thing.
I?
Command point now?
I'm going to command point re-roll it.
Yeah.
Why not? It'll be totally worth it.
Oh,
Yes.
the Dreadnought stands.
Yeah. Do I get the command point back as well? I do.
Nice. Then after the fight with the Warriors, Joe is paying to interrupt with this squad here, the squad of 5. So let's pile in, put you down to 2 command points left.
Yeah.
After piling in, we end up here, 1 command point left, sorry, just 1 left. And you are in 6 inch, with piling in, you are within 6 inch reroll range of your Watch Commander.
Yep.
And 3 of these guys got chainswords.
Yep.
So you're hitting on 3s, and you're rerolling everything, which you need. And in the end, that many hits. How many hits is that? That's 11? Looks like 11.
11, yeah.
Strength 4, toughness 4. Force to wound. And do you get the reroll for infantry? Or is that only shooting?
I do, but I haven't rolled any ones.
Oh, right, okay. So is that only 4? Oh, no.
This is bad.
Bad. Bad, okay. 5s, as they dodge. And then 5 catalysts. You kill 2. That could have been better.
That could have been a lot better.
Gamble didn't pay off, Joe.
Yeah.
Really trying to whittle away, because if there's 10 or more Gene Stealers, they get an extra attack.
Yeah.
So I've still got 12 or 11 left. So I've still got 4 attacks each, and in range of the Broodlord. So let's activate this squad. I'm going to put 1 guy into the big squad of 5, and the other 9 into the squad of 4. Yeah. This 1 guy hits on 2s with his rending claws, and he wounds on 4s. And I do a wound.
Oh,
It's AP minus a lot, but you've got a Storm Shield.
So a Storm Shield. Typical.
Now the other chunk of Gene Stealers attack the 4 veterans, hitting on 2s with many attacks. I got 32 hits. I'm winning on 4s with my rending claws. And 6s are minus AP a lot. And 4s and 5s are just minus AP 1.
It's all on the Storm Shield.
Right, so what are we doing?
So we'll do the 6+ on the Storm Shield.
Yes.
And then we will continue to roll on Storm Shield until they die.
Okay.
So, Mr. 6 is a 3.
Okay.
That's good. And then we'll do it in 2s.
Okay.
So the first one, Both die. Excellent.
Okay, and so these are all
4 pluses.
4 pluses. And it's -1, so the squad is wiped out.
They are.
So the Gene Stealers come charging through, do manage to wipe out this squad. But your Dreadnought holding up the attack from the Warriors was critical, because what I was hoping to do was the Warriors to kill him, and then I could have done single-minded annihilation after wiping out the squad and gone into that squad as well. But I think I'm going to have to spend a point on single-minded annihilation to hit your Dreadnought again after attack your captain. Right, onto the Hormagaunts. Now, when this unit piles and consolidates, it can move 6 inches. I'm about to get hit back 7 times by the captain and librarian. The idea is I lose a bunch of Hormagaunts, but you can't break out and shoot and kill something else. However, I've decided to pile into the aggressors as well, because I can't hit the aggressors, but if just one bug is left alive, the aggressors won't be able to shoot. Yeah, and that stops a huge amount of firepower smashing into my Hive Fleet. However, what it does do, it's a bit of a gamble, because not only is the librarian and the captain going to fight, but the aggressors are going to fight too. And they got power fists, so they'll be hitting on 4s, killing on 2s. Bringing the aggressors into this fight might be a really, really, really bad decision. We're about to find out. Meanwhile, let's fight the captain. I've got 10 guys there. Hormagaunts have 2 attacks each. I hit on 4s and I reroll 1s, because that's what they do. 10 hits at strength 3. I wound on 5s. And I wounded the captain 3 times. He's got storm shield and power armor. I scratched him. I scratched the captain. And now you get to fight back. That's all my charging units. So the aggressors pile into the Hormagaunts. Joe really needs to kill every single one of these. If you kill every single one of these, the jump captain can move out, the aggressors can fire. You need this to work.
I do need this, because if I suffer another bad shooting phase like I did last time, then it's game over.
Yep. Right, where are we starting?
We're going to start with the aggressors.
Okay, so 7 attacks, 2 attacks each plus the...
Reroll the 1.
Okay,
That's
so
bad.
only 2 hits, killing on 2s. Right, 2 Hormagaunts are dead, 8 more to get through.
8 more.
You're not going to do it.
So watch.
Watch.
Captain.
Yes.
3s. Reroll the 1. Killing on 2s.
Yeah.
Reroll the 1s.
Okay, 5 are dead so far.
5 are dead.
And then the
3 attacks from the librarian.
Yep.
2 hits. Killing on 3s.
6 die. 6 die. My gamble paid off, and that could be dark times for the Deathwatch. After the captain, the librarian, and the aggressors, now we have the Dreadnought attacking these warriors. 4 attacks with his Dreadnought power.
On 2s. Reroll the 1. Oh no.
Oh no. Killing on 2s.
Are they troops?
They are troops.
They are troops. I get to reroll. Oh my word.
Oh no, and one of those warriors was on 1 wound left, so he just turns around and just punches a warrior.
That's changed things.
That's
big.
Oh no. And then over here, this is where the Gene Stealers ended up after they consolidated. We've consolidated 3 inches forward towards the closest enemy models, and one of them has tied up the Contemptor Dreadnought as well. It's not just raining, it's pouring. These are shut down from shooting, that's shut down from shooting. Anyway, you get to stamp on me with your Dreadnought.
So, we're still hitting you on 2s.
Okay.
With strength 6.
Okay, so 3s, rerolling. Okay, you get 3, that's good. 5 up, as I dodge right, dodge left. Oh no, you kick 3 of them, and they can't catalyst any of those. You kick 3 of them to death.
You did better than the Deathwatch squad.
So, kicking them did better, yeah. So I take 3 of these guys away. Right, they're still in synapse range of the Broodlord over here. Let's have a look around and see what happened. Alright, I had to think. I'm spending 3 command points on Adrenaline Surge. Pick a Tyranid unit, and at the end of the fight phase, that unit can fight again. These Gene Stealers have only got 3 attacks each now, and they're only hitting on 3s now. But let's pile in and fight this Deathwatch squad. This puts me on 3 command points left. Joe's got 1 command point left, but let's make the Blood God happy. Right, there's 8 Gene Stealers there, but that one on the far left can't get within an inch of someone within an inch. He's tying up that Dreadnought. So there's 7 guys there, 3 attacks each, 21 attacks, hitting on 3s. 11 hits with rending claws, wounding on 4s, and the 6s are AP minus a lot. So
we're doing
that many.
The 2 6s on the storm shields.
Yes.
Oh, I actually passed one for a
One
change.
storm shield dies. I don't think you've got any. That's your last storm shield in that squad as well, because one guy already died.
So
Last command point.
Command point it. Yeah, why not? He's fine.
He's fine. He's fine. He's absolutely fine. Don't know what you're worried about.
I've already got a command point back this turn.
Yeah.
So it's just
3 up saves.
storm shield man. Oh.
He's
gone. And then a 4 up. He's fine.
Okay, so only the storm shield got wiped out. It cost you your last command point. I'm down to 3 command points. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. And that's the end of turn 2. I don't think you got any morale. They're okay. Yeah. I'm good for morale because the synapse is a thing. Maybe 1 minute. Yes, I'm good for morale. Very worrying. The zoanthropes are just in range of these guys over here, about 11.5. Otherwise, that would have been a bad morale test for my Gene Stealers and really bad placement. Yeah, so that's it for morale. No morale to take. What a brutal turn. You've killed a chunk of my army, but suddenly after turn 1, after doing very little to your army, I've killed a chunk of yours. But more importantly, this unit, if it falls back, aren't shooting. Your dreadnought isn't falling back. And this guy falling back can't shoot. Your captain and you were saying off camera, you could smite and pistol the Hormagaunts, potentially, and kill them in the psychic in the shooting phase with the other 2 characters, which suddenly leaves your aggressors free to fire.
I'm also considering sending the librarian off.
Really?
Because if I can get over to those Gene Stealers with enough movement and get null zone off, that could turn the tide on those Gene Stealers.
But you can't advance when you fall back.
Oh, well then.
So we need to have a good think.
Looks like we're killing Hormagaunts then.
All right. It is a bug planet. It is an ugly planet. Hive Fleet Kraken are now swarming through the Hive, Saracen Hive. The Deathwatch need to dig deep now. Let's go on to Astartes, turn 3. Here we are after the Deathwatch's movement phase. This unit and this unit, the Contemptor, falling back out of combat so they can't shoot now, forming a defensive wall around the Sakaran. And the unit on this objective in the Ruin have pushed forward to get into rapid fire range of the Gene Stealers. Meanwhile, these units stand still. That was quite a brutal turn from Kraken.
It was heartbreaking.
Well, you need some magic to happen now in your psychic phase.
We're gonna push back with all the Imperial might.
Yes, and as you said last psychic phase, I managed to deny everything.
Yeah.
So you're due luck.
I need some big high rolls.
A super smite would help.
Yes.
So shall we start off with smite?
We will start off with smite.
Okay.
So you want a nice 11, or
not that, and you've
not
run
that.
out of command points. Oh no.
Oh, it's kind of horrible. So now we will do Might of Heroes on the Dreadnought.
Okay.
Because he
this
can't,
one here?
Yeah, because he can't whiff twice.
Might of Heroes works. I might as well try and deny it. That 8 becomes a 7 because of shadows. Yeah. And I don't deny it. So that Dreadnought's got an extra attack, an extra toughness. The extra toughness will be critical actually, because I'm strength 4, you're toughness 8 now. Yeah. So I'm going to be wounding you on 6s. But you didn't smite me out of combat.
No, that was what it all depended on.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Do you know what you're doing in the shooting phase?
Yes.
Right, then we started the shooting phase when it rains it pours. After failing to hurt the Hormagaunts, the captain and librarian pulled out their bolt pistols and failed to wound the Hormagaunts. It was bad. Let's not talk about that. Yeah. Let's talk about the Sakaran. What are you doing with the Sakaran? Everything into the Gene Stealers?
It's going to fire everything, Kylo Ren style, into the Gene Stealers.
Into the Gene Stealers, yeah. Because even if the heavy bottle kills one, because it all happens at the same time, you can take away models that are not in line of sight in 8th edition 40k. So all of those shots can see that one Gene Stealer. So potentially you can riddle your way through them. You've got 9 to kill.
9 to kill.
What could possibly go wrong? Where are we starting?
So we start with the accelerator autocannon.
Okay.
So that's the big gun.
3s to hit. Rerolling everything because you've got a captain nearby. And this is strength 7.
It is.
Yep. So 3s to wound. That's pretty good.
And I get to reroll 1s because you're troops. Right.
Okay, so 5. 5 Lightning reflexes, dodge right, dodge left, and avoid one of them. So 4 will die, but I've got catalyst on the first one. 1's dead, 2's dead, 3's dead, 4's dead. Right, 4 are dead, 5 left to get through.
And then heavy bolters.
Heavy bolters.
Oh, all missed so far.
Oh dear.
Come on. There we go.
Come on. 2 wounds and 2 5s. And then a 5. Right, so still 4 dead.
And then the last cannons.
Both hit. 2's to wound. Both wound. Vulnerable saves. 1 gets through. D6 damage. For 5, I'm not even going to roll. You kill 5. So pull from that side, because you might be out of rapid fire with your Hellfire now.
Yeah, so
Kraken or Hellfire, less shots.
only 2 are in rapid fire range if I use the Kraken.
Right.
So I'm going to stick with that.
Yeah? You're not going Hellfire?
Yeah, we'll do wound on 2s. We've got to clear them out basically.
Okay, so it's 8 shots coming in.
4, yeah.
And you did move around in range of your watch captain again, which is good. So 3s, and re-rolling the 1s, and there's a couple of 2s again. Or re-rolling everything because it's a watch. Yeah. So these are wounding on 2s, re-rolling 1s because I'm troops.
Oh my god.
That's okay.
There we are.
5. You have 5. I've got 3 Gene Stealers left. 5s, and... Okay, 1 Gene Stealer is left alive before the frag cannon unloads. 2 shots. Hits twice. Wounds twice. 5 up. And then that's 4 damage.
That is 4 damage.
You wipe out the Gene Stealers.
Finally.
Right, Gene Stealers are dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy?
Yeah. I'm much relieved now that I've got some breathing space.
Where are we going with what's happening?
So 4 las cannon Contemptor Dreadnought is
Yep.
going to shoot at the
Exocrine. Okay.
So he's moved.
Yes.
So we're hitting you on
3s.
3s.
We're rolling
Reroll
1s,
the
but
1.
not the 2.
Alright.
Okay.
And then I'm wounding you on 3s.
Yes.
That's 3 wounds.
3 wounds. I need 3 6s. I've got 3 wounds left on this thing. It's dead. Unless you roll snake eyes.
From previous experience, it is potential.
No, it's dead. Does it go nuts? It doesn't go nuts. Okay, so you've taken out my big gun. It never tires until it gets hit by 4 las cannons. So, next up,
We are
2 dreadnoughts left. Look.
Yeah, so we're going to fire the furthest away dreadnought.
Yep.
He's going to fire a frag missile into the termagants.
Yep.
And his last cannons into the Turvigon.
Okay. -1 to hit the Turvigon because of chameleonic mutation. So let's do the last.
2 last cannons. 1 hit.
Yep. Wounds on 3.
And a wound.
Wound 6 up. I make the 6 up. And then it's going to be D6 shots into the little bugs.
5.
5. Nice. And
these are -1 as well.
-1 because of, the venoms.
3s all hit.
Everything hits.
And then 3s.
Okay. You've got 4 wounds get through, 4 6s, and you kill 3 of the little bugs. Can you stop fighting with Joe's laces on his shoes? We're trying to stop it. P90. Stop it. Okay, next.
We're going to do the other dreadnought.
Yes.
He will continue to last cannon the big go.
Okay, take this one. Yep. Last cannons in the big go, yeah.
And then the frag into the termagant.
Okay, alright, let's do it again.
So, last cannons. Reroll the 1.
Yep.
No.
Oh dear.
And it's a wound.
Can I get a 6 again? No, D6 damage for 1. And no ignoring anything there. So she's on 9 left. And then D6 into the little bugs.
2.
Both hit.
Both hit.
1 wound.
1.
And 1 more little bug dies. Do you mind that your laces are going to be full of cat spit, or do you want me to move your shoes?
I've got 2 cats at home.
Oh, so you're used to cat spit.
Yeah.
Okay. What else have we got left to fire?
I think we fired everything.
Have aggressors got pistols?
They don't know. They've just got their fists of fury.
I thought they had all the guns.
No, they've got their top racks, and
Okay.
then they've got the guns on their hands, and that's it. So
that was the shooting phase. The Gene Stealers wiped out. You did kill the Gene Stealers in the Exocrine.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a big win.
Okay. Are we charging anywhere?
I think the aggressors, the captain and the librarian, have got 4 Hormagaunts in the bag.
I think so, and him as well. I've got 2 command points to interrupt, but 6 is to wound that dreadnought now.
Yeah, so I think I'm not gonna charge because I don't want you to intervene and take out a dreadnought.
Okay, so starting with the dreadnought?
Yep, so he's on 5 attacks now.
Because he is a hero.
Yep.
Might of heroes.
So 2s.
Yes.
All hit.
He hit this time.
And then 2s.
And they're dead.
Yeah.
Because they're a flat 3 damage -3.
Yeah.
And these are a 4-up save with 3 wounds. So the dreadnought did what he should have done last time.
Yeah.
And wipes them out. And then we go on to this Fist of Fury and the Captain Librarian in the middle.
Yeah.
So of course the Hormagaunts got wiped out in the close combat phase. And you consolidated forward, minding the gap, protecting the entrance to Saracen Mons. And that is the end of turn 3. So in turn 2, the hive mind pushed bloodily into the ruins, and you've managed to repel them and break everyone out of combat.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go on to turn 3 for the Tyranids. And this is my footprint. I haven't got much left. So you've done well, I think.
Yeah, you did give me a bloody nose though.
I did give you a bloody nose. I'm about to spawn 10 more Hormagaunts from her at the start of the movement phase into them. But this is only turn 3. And it's all about getting these objectives. And you have got first blood.
Yeah.
So it's still a long way to go. It's still anyone's game. Let's go on to Tyranids, turn 3. Here we are after Kraken's movement phase. The swarm continues to swarm into Saracen Mons. And these little bugs advance. Now with Kraken, rolling 3d6, picking the highest, I got 12. They've come all the way around here. And if they manage to get off a charge, because I can onslaught them in the psychic phase, which means they can charge after advancing, I could potentially shut down a number of units from shooting next turn. The Overwatch is going to be ridiculous though. Potentially I could charge him with the Broodlord as well. He's not going to get shot at, but mainly I think he's going to jump for these guys. Mind you, I could declare a charge against them and the Dreadnoughts and the Watch Commander in the backfield, the Warlord, and then only get Overwatched by them. And if I get a long enough charge, I could potentially eat your Warlord.
Yeah, his base is big enough that you could probably tag both Dreadnoughts and the Warlord.
Yeah, and that was your idea.
That was my idea, so I should have kept my mouth shut, really.
But it sounds like a plan. Meanwhile, up this end of the battle grid by the gateway, he's on 1 wound left, so he should potentially fall to a smite. And then there's going to be a psychic battery and some shooting coming in to the aggressors, trying to get to the jump captain behind. Oh, what I did was I spawned 10 more guys into that squad. They're obviously going to be out of spawn range from her next turn. And then I moved the second squad around, and Neurothreats have the fly keyword. So it advanced and jumped up and landed there. The reason for that is because there's a jump captain there. And if you could jump over the top and slam into my Warlord. So that should keep her safe, my Warlord. But there will be shots coming in on that squad. So in the psychic phase, I think I need to catalyst that squad. It's the only way to keep my Warlord alive. So let's do that with the Neurothrope. I need a 6. And that's a perils. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to suffer D3 mortal wounds on myself. For 2. And that puts my Neurothrope down to 3 wounds left. But at least you can't block the catalyst.
No, that's going to keep him in the game for a while.
Yeah. And then I'm going to smite. And that passes, and it does D3 Oh yeah.
I'm going to have to try and stop it.
Yeah, to keep your dread alive, you need an 8. And you stop it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that works. So then the Tervagon will smite. This needs a 6. And that passes. It does D3 more wounds. It kills the dread. Does it go kaboom?
Did I get the... How many?
Oh yeah,
D3?
that's true.
3.
3.
So I rolled 3 6s. No.
You roll 1.
Does it explode? No.
No explosion. So that's the psychic stuff done over there. Right, now we're gonna smite with my Zoanthropes. And that was a 5, 6, 7 on them. Maybe I should have done them first. And that's a pass. Oof. And because the squad numbers more than 3, this is 2d3 mortal wounds, and the closest thing in line of sight and range are the aggressors. And that's 6 mortal wounds, wiping the aggressors out with mind bullets. That was painful. Oh. Absolutely painful.
It's been starved off for 2 other turns,
yeah.
So it's about time it happens.
It finally worked. And they've got Psychic Scream. And guess who's closest in line of sight and range? Your jump captain. So this is going to work on a 5. And that passes for D3 mortal wounds on your jump captain, who's already taken a wound. Hormel Grant scratched his leg off, only a flesh wound. For 3 more. He's on 1 wound left.
He can take it.
Finally, over here, need to cast Onslaught on this squad of bugs. I need a 6. And that passes. That means that squad of bugs can assault, even though they advanced. Now I'm thinking about doing Single-Minded Annihilate. The one that allows me to cast another spell, he could cast Smite. 5, 6, 7. I would need an 8. I'd need an 8 to smite them. Because if I smitten a couple of them, then I don't need to charge them. Then I could definitely go that way. But then I could lock you up anyway. But well, I'm thinking about it, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to spend a command point so he can cast another power. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I need 8 for this smite to go off. No, that fails. I was greedy. What was that, Joe?
I was going to say, did you want a command point reroll the 3?
And then you said, do it, burn the wall, burn it. No. No, I don't want to spend 2 command points to smite a failure. No, I was getting greedy anyway. The dice god said no, thank you, Zinch. Right, shooting phase. My Pyrovore is closest to your jump captain.
Yay.
So I think I'm going to Pyrovore him. Yeah, let's do, mind you, I could just shoot some little guns into him. But then, I can't see it. Yeah, he's going to have to, it's the only thing he can shoot at, is your jump captain. Number of shots, 5 shots. These are auto hits, and they wound on 3s because it is strength 5. 3 wounds at -1, but you have a storm shield. 3 up saves, keep your jump captain alive.
Oh, I'm down my last command point, so he dies.
Your hero falls. Then the Termagants that could see the librarian fired at the librarian and took a wound off. Yeah. So now the Terv are gone with the Stinger Salvo will also fire at the librarian. 4s to hit, however. 2 hits, strength 5. 1 wound at -1.
Oh.
And the librarian is down to 3 wounds left.
Yep.
And then I've got some shots. These shots over here will be hitting on 5s because I advanced. If I fire at your dudes here, I'm going to be wounding on 4s, but you got a 2 up save. So I might as well fire at a Contemptor, which is hitting on 5s, wounding on 5s with a 3 up save. And I fired and no damage done. So now we're on to the charge phase. So what I think I'll do is start with the Broodlord. The Broodlord is going to declare a charge against this squad and that Dreadnought and that Dreadnought, but not the 3rd Dreadnought with the las cannons because he can see. So what happens is these 2 guys can't fire at the Broodlord because they can't see him, but this squad can. Yeah. Now if I get a good charge, I'll probably just go that way and try and eat your Warlord with a Broodlord. And if I get a bad charge, I'll just jump on them. So 2 D6 auto hits with the Fragstorm cannon into the Broodlord, looking for big money.
Ooh.
7. Ooh. And it's strength 6. I am toughness 5.
So 3s.
Rerolling. I'm not a troop, so I'm a HQ.
So that was awful.
Only 2. And it's -1, 2 damage.
Yep.
So 5 up and vulnerable saves. And it takes 2 wounds. It's down to 4 left.
I think it's only the 1. I think it's the only 1 on the flavor option.
Is it?
That'd be a terrible cheat otherwise. At the moment.
Let's see how far I charge while you're looking that up. And I charged 5 inches? I'm probably going to fail both charges.
It's only the 1 damage.
1 minute. Before I re-roll that 1 for the charge, a Stormbolter came in and I failed that. Okay, so you do take 2 wounds off of the Broodlord. Yeah. Now let's re-roll the 1 with a command point. Put me on 1 command point left.
Oh.
The Broodlord fails the charge. Right, after that horrible failed charge, what I did is come over here and declare a charge with the Termagants only into the Watch Captain. You killed a Termagant. Let's see how far the charge roll is. 10. Because then what I can do is string them all along and charge weirdly and then pile in and do some weird shenanigan stuff. And we end up like this. Then at the start of the fight phase, what you do is you pick a model and pile into the closest enemy model. So what will happen is the Termagants will pile into the captain and tie it up and stop it shooting. But they'll also pile into both Dreadnoughts and that Deathwatch squad over there. It will bring all of these units into close combat, but they're not going to be able to kill an entire squad of Gants. And there'll be only a couple left, but it will stop you shooting next turn. You're going to need to pull back. Then off camera, did a charge for the Pyrovore into the Librarian because I thought it was an automatic in, and I rolled Snake Eyes. I didn't manage to get in there, so the Librarian manages to hold firm. In fact, failed charge there, failed charge with the Broodlord. That's it for the charge phase. So the only fight left to do is over here. Let's fight. So we piled in like so, and because I didn't declare them as a subject of a charge, all the attacks that could hit the captain went into the captain or commander and didn't do any damage to him. I've locked up all of those things. I did contemplate spending a command point on Caustic Blood, so for every model that dies I get to roll a dice, and on a 6 it will do mortal wound back again. And I ummed and ahed about it, but I've decided not to spend that command point on Caustic Blood to do mortal wounds. It's a 1 in 6 chance, and I need that final command point that I have left for potentially keeping a Broodlord alive, or for re-rolling a Perils result, for example. So let's do the fight back over here and see how many Termagants the Deathwatch can kill. Many attacks from multiple sources later, there are 4 Hormagaunts left. Termagants left. Still locking up both of the Dreadnoughts, the Watch Commander, and that squad of veterans, and that is the end of Tyranids. Turn 3. In the Deathwatch turn, he's got a couple of units now that can fire, and the Dreadnought, shutting down their firepower. Of course, he's going to break through this mess, and in turn 5 be able to shoot some more, but hopefully by turn 5 the swarm will get closer and closer. This has turned into a really tactical game.
Oh, very, yeah.
After that appalling first turn from me, I thought it would be all over. I thought you'd just make your way through them all.
With that, it was the flanking manoeuvre that didn't go straight for the gates.
What manoeuvre?
The flanking manoeuvre whipped round. I just couldn't kill enough to just keep you coming through. But I think it might be time to abandon the gates and go back into the city. Yeah.
Losing that jump guy this turn, that was painful as well, because he could have jumped over and did auto-kill these Vernanthropes or the Zoanthropes. See, that was painful as well. But we're heading into turn 4 now, so we need to start thinking about positioning for these objectives in turn 5 and potentially 6 or 7 to win this game. Interesting stuff. Let's go on to Deathwatch, turn 4. Right, here we are after the Deathwatch movement phase. What am I looking at, Joe? What's going on?
So we've pulled back, we're abandoning the gates. The Librarian has made a potentially game-changing manoeuvre. I put him in a position where he can smite those termagants.
Yes.
If you let me get it off with your nullifying powers.
Yeah.
And then through some kind of medium of magic, we will get a null zone off, and then we will charge the brain bugs.
Nice.
At the same time, we'll kill the Broodlord and then win, maybe.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Dreadnought staying still, and these guys staying still as well.
Yeah, they've all stayed in combat, hoping that the smite clears out the space.
Yes.
Basically.
And do veterans have pistols?
No, they don't, because I've given them. If you take a storm shield, you lose your bolt pistol. I decided to take chainswords instead of bolt pistols because they can go in combat.
So you really need the smite to work.
It really does need to work.
Meanwhile, this squad want to finish off the Broodlord.
Yeah.
Okay, so shall we go on to the psychic phase and watch the magic happen?
Oh, definitely.
Okay, 6 for a smite, because the shadows.
No!
Smite fails.
Smite fails. Do we get a null zone at least? We do.
You do get a null zone. I might as well try and deny it. That's a 9 with shadows, so I need a 10. You do get null zone off. Yeah. So 6 inches around him, there won't be any invulnerable saves.
Yeah.
Which will hurt these guys, or the Broodlord. Now we're on to the shooting phase. So what we're saying is none of these guys can shoot.
None of those guys can currently shoot at the moment.
So you've got 2 Dreadnoughts that can fire, your tank, and this squad over here.
Yeah.
Where do you want to start?
We're going to start with the squad. We're going to get frag cannon to victory.
Frag cannon to victory into the Broodlord. 2d6 auto hits. for 8 auto hits. And this is strength 6, you say?
Yep.
So you're winning on 3s.
Ooh.
And it's not a troops choice.
No.
So 4, 5 up invulnerable saves, 4 wounds left on it. It's got 2 wounds left, and now you're hellfiring?
Yeah, we're going to hellfire.
Okay. And that's pretty good. 5 hits, that's perfectly statistically average.
And 5 wounds.
5 wounds. It has a 4-up save normally, with 2 wounds left. I've got to make 5 of these, however. I lose my last 2 wounds unless I want to command point it. And it's a character, so you won't be able to shoot at it with anything else. And then it'll have 1 wound left, and then it can charge something. And it can't charge. Yeah, I'm going to command point it. Yeah. 4 up, 50-50 chance to keep my Broodlord alive. And it's dead. Every command point reroll I've done has failed.
And it's always been a 1.
Next up, we're going where?
We're going to start with the Dreadnought over there.
Yes.
He's going to shoot at the Tervagon.
Dreadnought firing at the Tervagon. Yeah. Okay, -1 to hit. So las cannons, both hit. Nice.
3s. Both wound.
Both wound. I need 6s. I fail.
Ooh.
And you do 7 damage. It's on 2 wounds left. And then a missile launcher fires out. And misses.
And I'm actually out of range for the reroll.
Oh no. Well, you've got another Dreadnought over here.
I have got another Dreadnought. He's gonna have to go after Tervagon as well, just to make doubly sure.
Everything?
Yeah.
Kylo Ren happening again.
Yeah, so 1.
And wounds. I need to make a 6. I've got 2 wounds left on that. And if she dies, then I won't be spawning any more. I fail the save. D6 damage. The Tervagon dies, and synaptic backlash happens. So each Tervagon unit within 6 inches of her suffers D6 mortal wounds before you remove the model for 4, but they have got catalyst on them. So 5s. So I lose 2 little bugs as she dies. Then after the Tervagon died, the Sakaran opened up. Its las cannons took out the Pyrovore, and the accelerator autocannons heavy bolters fired into the termagants and killed a chunk of them, and that is the end of the Deathwatch shooting phase. Apart from these models here, all Hive Fleet Kraken have in close combat are these 4 units over here, 4 little bugs which are about to die in the fight phase. But before we get to this fight, the Librarian charged the Zoanthropes. Get it off camera, but you made the charge, 3 attacks. And you hit twice, and you wound on 3s with your axe.
Oh, only the 1.
Only the 1. 3 up and Vun? No, D3 damage.
Only the 1 again.
Only 1 damage. That's the charging units.
Yeah.
Now let's fight over here. Yeah. And the veterans piled in and killed those 4 termagants with ease. Then we come back here to Zoanthropes versus Librarian. Hitting on 4s. And wounding on 4s. They don't do anything, because they never do in close combat. And that is the end of turn 4 for the Deathwatch. So let's go on to turn 4 for Hive Fleet Kraken. The Deathwatch are doing their thing, whittling units away, whittling units away. The footprint of the hive mind is significantly reduced. Let's see what they can do in turn 4. Right, I've got very few assets left to play with, and I really need it to end in turn 5 or turn 6. The Deathwatch have murdered a huge number of Tyranids. They've done really well. It swung one way, then the other way, then the other way. So the plan is quite simple. The Venom Thropes have hopped over here trying to keep my little swarm safe, and I've got a fat 6 on the advance, so they're shoved all the way along there. I think there's only 1 or 2 units that can shoot at them. Remember, the Dreadnought won't be able to go through that wall. He's a vehicle. He's going to have to come around there and charge. And even then, I can still fall back out of combat and charge up Gengar and Kraken, or jump on this objective to try and win the points. You have got First Blood, but I could potentially get Line Breaker over there. And then I need to get onto a second objective. But these are troops, so those troops must die. But then you could advance with your troops and try and get onto it. But that relies on a long bomb charge. There's a crack in the wall here. There is a crack in the wall, which means this squad could smite them off of that objective so long as your librarian dies first. So psychic shenanigans need to happen, and I need everything to work. And the Neurothrope has moved back with the Zoanthropes because I've got the re-roll. That's how desperate I am. So I'm going to start off with Catalyst. Let's put Catalyst on them. I need to keep them alive. Need a 6. That passes. Would you like to try and deny with your librarian?
No, I'm going to try and stop that smite coming in.
Okay, the Neurothrope smiting librarian. That passes. I can re-roll 1, so I might as well.
Yeah. Ooh.
Okay, so you need a 9. You need to beat a 9, which is a 10. And you do. What a hero. He stands firm. He denies it. Okay, so let's smite with this squad. I need a 6 now with the Zoanthropes, the blue guys.
Yeah.
And I can re-roll the 1. I need a 6. Oh, no. That fails. So now Psychic Scream him. What I wanted to do was kill him with Mind Bullets and hurt them with Mind Bullets. This isn't working. Psychic Scream passes. It does something additional to librarians. 1 minute, let me check. Right, checking the rule book. First things first, it does D3 mortal wounds. For 1, your librarian's still alive. And then I need to beat your leadership on 2d6. Which I do.
Which you do.
And then I randomly select one of your psychic powers and you can't use that psychic power anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really want to stop Null Zone right now. Because, yeah, let's see which happens. You can no longer use Might of Heroes.
Oh.
You've forgotten it all of a sudden. And that's the end of my psychic phase. I don't have any shooting. That's the end of Tyranid's turn 4. Have the Deathwatch got this? Let's find out as we go into Tyranids. Tyranids? Deathwatch turn 5. It's turn 5. The Deathwatch move forward to make one last push to deny Saracen Mons to the Hive Mind. Squad of veterans jumping onto that objective and the Dreadnought moving round, so in later game turns, if it goes on to turn 6, he can help deny the Zoanthropes that objective. This Dreadnought pushing back onto that objective, and the Watch Commander with his re-roll aura going on there. At the start of the turn, are you changing his chapter tactics, command tactics?
I'm going to change it to
these are
elites.
Elites. These are elites.
Yeah.
These are elites.
Yeah.
Okay, changing it to elites. That's good. And currently you control 3 objectives. And your hero librarian, who took smites and psychic screams, has jumped forward right in front of my warlord.
Yeah.
And he's still got Null Zone.
It's going to be a power of brains.
And a smite. So going for warlord kill here. Shall we go on to the psychic phase?
Let's do.
You deserve one good psychic phase. This is the turn.
This is it.
I can feel it in the water.
Start Null Zone.
Null Zone.
Work for the first time ever.
Okay, need a 9 because of shadows.
No.
It doesn't work because that's an 8, but -1 because of shadows.
And then smite.
Smite. Time for a super smite. That fails.
That fails.
Because of shadows, it's -1 to cast. He's going to have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Yep.
By punching me with his foresword. Right, let's go on to the shooting phase. Where are we starting?
I think the librarian's going to throw a crack grenade.
Nice.
He's going to feed it to him.
Yep, try and get him in the mouth.
And it's going to miss.
Let's face it, he took a bit of a headache last turn.
Yeah.
There was a lot of psychic stuff happening to him.
He's got sunspots in his eyes. We're going to go with the Dreadnought here.
Yep.
We'll shoot at the
Zoanthropes.
Okay.
Okay.
So 2 las cannons.
One hit.
Yeah, 1. And that's
Doesn't
not a
wound.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Fall into pieces. And then
Missile.
missile. Hits.
Wounds on the 2.
No.
Everything misses.
The squad of veterans
Yes.
is going to shoot the Wibbly guys.
I would put your tank into the wiggly guys first, and
Yeah.
then because some of these guys can actually see the Hormagaunts.
We'll start with that then.
Yeah.
We'll start.
And then cut away the -1 to hit the Hormagaunts, the Termagants, I mean. So what are you doing with your tank? Everything?
Everything.
Okay. Accelerator autocannon, hitting on 3s because of the minuses to hit, but re-rolling 1s, but not. Oh yeah,
It'll be on 2, so.
That'll do.
Yeah.
And it's strength 7, toughness 4.
So you want the 1.
Because they're elites. Now, it's -1, so I do get 6s to save. and each does 2 damage.
Yeah.
So the first guy, he's dead. Now these guys, all right, they're dead. Yeah, you wiped them out. You need to put las cannons into him, which leaves the veteran squad free to fire on the termagants. So go for Kraken rounds this time because you're winning on 3s and it's -1 and I'm not wholly within a train piece.
Yeah.
So each of these wounds that gets through will kill a termagant. And so you're hitting on 3s, no re-rolls for hitting, but you're wounding on 3s. Strength 4 versus toughness 3. And each one of these is a dead termagant. Only got 5.
I'm wounding you on 3s, aren't I? Yeah, so 6.
Then the frag cannon fired out, killing one more. Now, I am in 18-inch range synapse of my Neurothrope, but if you do kill the Neurothrope in close combat, then synapse will collapse there, and I've lost 10 models. And that's basically game. Now, nothing else can shoot at that squad there. There is a crack in the wall, which is something that I try to do on these veterans. Does mean that this Contemptor can fire through into the Zoanthropes. -1 to hit because you moved, but you're hitting on
3s.
And then pulling out the 2s. And winning on 3s.
Yeah. Reroll 1s for elites.
Okay, so 3 wounds get through. One of these Zoanthropes is on 2 wounds left. So on a 3, up, 3, up. Oof. Don't kill any. Don't kill any. This Deathwatch squad can fire through the crack as well.
Yeah, so
and
we'll
do
the
shooting phase.
The frag cannon first, because he's the one that can kill off that one guy.
One hit. Doesn't wound. It's an elite. But you're not in the 6-inch.
Yeah. And then...
Okay. What strength is it? Is it strength 8? Checking the rules. If you're within half range, it becomes strength 9.
Yeah.
So that's a wound. So I need a 3, which I make. And then you're going to put wounding on 2s?
Yeah, we'll do wound on 2s.
Okay. 3s to hit. That's pretty good shooting tech. 2s to wound. And wow, okay. 3 up invulnerable saves on the Zoanthropes. 1 dies. That is important. Oh no, one's on 2 wounds.
Yeah. The unkillable.
Oh no. Well, I was about to say that's important because if you get them down to 3, they can only do 1 psychic power, not 2 psychic powers. And that's it for shooting. Yeah. Nothing else got line up. Oh, did that thing fire? Oh yeah, it did.
It did.
The Dreadnought fired, missed everything.
Yeah. This
one moved round. He can't see through the thing. He's a character. That's it.
Yeah.
Interesting. That is the end of turn 5. You control 3 objectives. We've got a charge coming up, or not a charge?
We're going to charge him.
I have no psychic. I have no Overwatch, so it's just a flat charge. You're obviously in.
Yeah.
So 2 wounds left on your brave librarian, trying to take out my warlord.
Yeah. We'll get straight into it because I've got nothing else.
Is a hero born this day? No.
No.
Not today. Everything whiffed.
He's repelled by the warp.
Yeah, he needs some paracetamol or something. He's got a really bad headache. Shadow the Warp doing a number on him. Neurothropes have 1 attack back, which hits on a 4 and wounds on a 4. No. Now that is the end of turn 5. You control 3 objectives. I control 0 objectives right now. Yeah. No morale test to make because Synaptic Linchpin gets my morale up to 18-inch range. We've already measured. But I've got 3 units left. It's turn 5. I need to jump on some objectives and hope this game ends, maybe. It's gone to Tyranids, turn 5. Right, in the movement phase, my Zoanthropes jumped there. I remembered I had Catalyst on them, and then I rolled a 6, so I've recovered a wound on that Zoanthrope. Very, very resilient. Now all I need to do is smite and Psychic Scream you off of this objective to control this objective, and then the game ends. And I've got 1 objective, I've got 2 objective, and Linebreaker is 1 model in your opponent's deployment zone. I got 1 model in the deployment zone.
Yeah.
So I'll have 2 objectives, you'll have 2 objectives, you'll have First Blood, I will have Linebreaker, and it'll be a draw. If it goes to turn 6, it might get very bad for me.
Yeah. Well, if it carries on like my normal shooting phase, then you'll probably be alright.
I might be alright. So I need to start here by killing this unit with Mind Bullets. So select a model, so it comes from there. Let's start off with Psychic Scream. I need a 5. That's a 9. Would you like to try and deny?
You've got I'm going to have to.
Yeah?
I'm going to have to.
Okay.
No.
You don't deny. D3 mortal wounds on the veterans. For 1, there's 2 left. Now let's smite. This has to work. That passes. And this does 2 D3 mortal wounds because I've got more than 3 in this squad. So that's 5.
Yep, they are all
That's
gone.
the veterans gone. I control that objective. And now my warlord needs to cast Catalyst on that squad to try and keep him alive in case it goes to turn 6, which I do. And let's smite this librarian. Let's finish him off. That passes. D3 mortal wounds on your Libby. For 1.
1.
He's hanging in there on 1 wound left. And that's the end of my turn 5.
Wow.
That's it.
That's it.
There's no more out to take. You went first, you roll the dice.
Okay.
And on the 1-2, it's a draw. So we go on to turn 6. It isn't over yet. The Deathwatch have a chance to destroy the Tyranids utterly. Here we are after Deathwatch movement phase in turn 6. The Watch Commander with his posse of Contemptor Dreadnoughts come up to deal with the Zoanthropes. He's got the reroll wands to wound versus elites thing this turn again, which will affect all of these units, including the Sakaran. Sakaran moving forward because he couldn't draw line of sight, so there's going to be a lot of firepower coming in on the Zoanthropes. You kill them utterly, you'll grab that objective, you're still on that objective, the Dreadnought over there controlling that objective. And the Librarian, shaking off his headache, taking a couple of Anodins, has jumped over to try and take on my Warlord. Meanwhile, in the centre, the Deathwatch hold the gateway. Right. Psychic phase. Can this Librarian be the hero that we need, not necessarily we deserve?
We're going to go for the smite.
Going for the smite. He's failed a couple of turns in a row, and this time he fails again.
Oh my word. And then we're going to go for the null zone.
Null
this
zone.
is the important one.
Need a 9. And that fails. He definitely has a headache.
Yeah.
Right. Let's shoot some guns. These Zoanthropes are about to get lit up. Where do you want to start?
We might as well start with the Sakaran.
Yeah.
He's going to shoot everything.
So it's hitting on 4s because it hasn't got an ability to move and fire its heavy weapons, which is a shame.
But the top gun is an assault weapon, so it still hits on the
Nice.
3.
Okay, so that's hitting on 3s, re-rolling 1s, and it does 2 damage and 1s and 2 wounds.
Yeah.
I've got Catalyst on them now.
So
So 8 shots,
8 shots.
hitting on 3s, re-rolling the 1s. Rerolling everything, yeah, because of your commander, dude. Yeah. 6s to hit, sorry, right. 3s to wound.
Reroll 1 because you're an elite.
Okay. 5 wounds get through on the Zoanthropes. 5 3-up invulnerable saves. I was jammy last turn. This turn, I'm not jammy. That's 4 damage get through. Yeah?
Yep.
So 2 damage on the first dude who's got 2 wounds left. I have Catalyst. And he dies. And another Zoanthrope. Another Zoanthrope takes 1 wound. But again, that stops the 2 psychic powers.
Yeah.
Down to just 1 psychic power. Now Las Cannon's coming in.
Oh, that's cannons.
Both hit. Target acquired.
1 wound so far. 2 wounds.
2 wounds. 3 up invulnerable saves. Pass 1, fail 1. D6 damage. For 3. Catalysts. I need to keep him alive. 2 wounds left. He's dead. 2 Zoanthropes left. Heavy bolter.
Oh.
Rerolling the 2. 1 hit. 1 wound. Failed to save Catalyst. I pass. Okay, 2 Zoanthropes left alive, and that was just the Sakaran.
Yeah. We'll do the Contemptor with autocannons.
This one here?
Yeah.
Nice.
So 3s. Re-rolling
1s, but not 2s.
Not 2s. No.
That was a lot of 2s.
Yeah. And then 3s. Re-rolling 1s. So 2.
Okay, only 2. Only 2. 3 up invulnerable saves. You can do it. No, you can't. I passed both of the saves.
Watchmaster's going to have a go. His spear is 2 damage
Is it?
with the shooting.
Nice.
We'll do the wound on 2s. So
Okay.
both hit. Both wounds.
Both wound. 2 damage, you say?
Yeah.
3 up invuln.
Ooh.
Fail them both. That's 4 damage. So on the first. They've got 3 wounds each. So Catalyst,
Oh my word.
Catalyst. One takes a wound. 2 wounds on one of them.
Ever Defiant.
4 las cannons.
I'm gonna be weird on this one.
Right.
I'm gonna fire the Dreadnought babysitting the other objective at
Yeah.
him. He's gonna fire a frag missile first, and then his 2 las cannons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
So frag.
One shot. Hits on a. You moved him.
Yeah.
He
So he
misses
missed.
anyway.
So
Okay.
he failed me on that one. And then the las cannons hit,
Yep.
and both wound.
And both wound. Okay. 3 up and vulnerable saves. 1 fails. D6 damage. 5. I might make a bunch of catalyst saves. I've got 2 wounds left on 1 neurothrope. I don't make a bunch of catalyst saves. We're down to 1 neurothrope remaining. Now you've got a contemptor with 4 las cannons
Yeah.
staying ham. So 3s to hit. Roll the 1,
one.
but not the 2.
Oh.
2 hits.
Roll the 1.
2 wounds. 2, 3 up. Vulnerable saves.
Ooh.
D6 damage. 2 damage. Catalyst. It's on 1 wound left. 1 wound left.
Okay.
Which is interesting because you could charge and kill him.
Yeah.
But if you don't kill him, then I can move over with that if you don't kill the neurothrope and potentially kill your warlord. Contest. It ain't over yet, is what I'm saying. There's some scenarios where potentially I could still draw. I'm scraping the barrel.
The librarian is going to continue to throw crack grenades.
Warlord or neurothrope?
We're going to go for the warlord.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and knock him off. He misses. Okay.
Misses. He can't die, but he can't hit for toffee.
No.
Okay.
This squad here is going to have to shoot the...
So that's all the back line. Now this veteran squad unloading everything into termagants.
Yeah. So
Okay.
do the frag cannon first.
6 wounds, which will kill on 2s, and these guys reroll 1s. There's 6 dead. And then all the Hellfire rounds, I'm sure. Or Kraken rounds.
We'll do the Kraken.
Because you're winning on 3s and I don't pick them up. And I don't get a save.
3, 4 guys.
Okay. 3s to hit.
Oh, that's so good.
I don't know how many there are there. 3s to kill. So how many did you kill? 6 plus this many.
That's 8.
So 10, 14 have died. 14. And I pulled 14 away, hoping to keep 1 on this objective and 1 over there line breaking. But that's 14 dead, leaving me with 1 left. Which means I can't control this objective. Which means I can't outnumber you on your objectives. Which means I can't win. So, do you want to end it, or do you want to... I'm going to say this is the way the world ends, but do you want to see if you can kill some stuff? And
We can try and take out the warlord who's been pesky and refuses to die.
So he's going to charge there.
Yeah.
And he's going to charge there.
Yeah.
Let's say he's in.
Yeah.
Because I've lost anyway. But let's see if your watch commander can kill him.
Yeah.
And whether the Libby can kill my warlord as well.
Alright then. So, watch commander.
Yes.
He hits on
2s.
Winning you on 3s.
Rerolling 1s because I'm an elite. Nope. Okay.
No.
3 up and vulnerable saves. And each of them does a couple of damage, right?
I want to say it's D3.
I've got 1 wound left. Catalyst. He's dead.
Oh.
So the watch commander does take him out. Even if it was D3, that was at 1 wound each. Then your librarian into the neurothrope.
Yep, this is his moment to shine.
He hits once. He
And
wounds
wounds.
once.
No.
And make the save. And then I bang you back again, and that's the end of your turn 6.
Yeah.
And on my turn 6, there's nothing I can do to get on 2 objectives. Might I jump there? See, the other thing is that morale over there. I'm out of synapse range. I was just thinking I could run all the way over on and get on that objective. And then jump on this objective, kill your wall. No, I can't win. I can't win. This is the way the world ends. And so this battle swung one way, it swung the other way, but in the end, the Deathwatch managed to defend Saracen Mons and defend it in style. You've still got 4 dreadnoughts left. Your Sakaran is stood there. This librarian couldn't do anything, but one of the things he couldn't do is die.
he's held in there through brain magic alone.
Just through brain. How do you think that went? I mean, after turn 2 or 3 from me, I thought, ooh, 1 minute, you could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, turn 1 I was like, oh, I've got this. And then turn 2, it slid sideways incredibly quickly.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, this has gone horribly bad.
Yeah.
And it's really good. It's been very to and fro.
It has been very to or fro, and if it had finished in turn 5, it would have been a draw.
Yeah.
So I almost snatched a draw from the jaws of defeat, but in the end, he did well. Deathwatch versus any Xenos faction do particularly well. That's what they're designed to do, and they are a glorious, glorious army. My turn 1 was appalling. I think I killed 1 veteran and 1 aggressor. Should have really done more damage than that. I'll tell you what didn't happen as well. The deployment type didn't help very much. If I was spread along a bit more.
If you had long ways, would have been a lot better. Or even with the 24-inch deployment this way, you could have just flowed over the walls and hit me on both sides.
Yeah, we did roll for deployment type. Imagine if it was lengthways. I would have picked up here just for narrative reasons, but I could have moved my entire troops behind this wall in turn 1 and then jumped out and really hurt you with a lot more, rather than, I think it was the Gene Stealers and then something else. I could have hit you a lot harder. And lengthways as well would have been interesting, because I don't know. It's Deathwatch are interesting. I like the fact that you haven't brought everyone with storm shields and storm bolters, that there are frag cannons still in there. I like the fact that there's chainswords as well. They helped you out.
Oh, definitely. The having a squad with, you got a couple of guys who've got 3 attacks is a real bonus.
Yeah.
And I think everyone with storm shields is a bit overkill.
Yeah. And one of the weaknesses for Deathwatch as well is they can lack long-range firepower and anti-tank, but bringing along a chunk of dreadnoughts as well made up for it. You had there's plenty of las cannons in this army. What was that, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9? There's plenty of las cannons in this army, so you have got your long-range anti-tank. This isn't really a tournament list, though, is it?
No. My tournament list still has dreadnoughts, but it has big 10-man squads of veterans.
10-man squads.
It's got 2 Sakarans and the Xiphon. There's a lot of Forge World that makes Deathwatch work. And
2 Sakarans and a Xiphon, with a watch commander back here, just.
And now they've FAQ'd it, so the Tome of the Exoclades affects all units, not just infantry and dreadnoughts. Okay. It's a real boost.
Yeah. And that Xiphon's a bit dirty as well. That can zip around all over the place. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a very narrative battle. I felt like I was in for a chance at every step of the way until the very end. And it's always glorious to see an Astartes victory. I'm an Imperial player at heart. So what's the name of your podcast?
It's Lookout Sir 40k.
Lookout Sir 40k. Check them out at some point in the future. It's Saturdays, you said?
Oh yeah, we release every other Saturday.
Every other Saturday. I need to find a Saturday when I'm free so I can come and chat 40k with you guys. Because I really can't shut up, Battle Mat by Urban Mats. Creators by Urban Mats. Terrain by P-Work Studios. This terrain by GameMat.eu. This battle map by Hot Diamond Miniatures. A right smorgasbord of different hobby suppliers on the table here today. All the miniatures brought to you by Games Workshop. Dice and objective markers brought to you by DeploymentZone.tv. Joe brought to you by Car along the M4 corridor. If you want more Winter's SEO content, please support us. Please check us out on DeploymentZone.tv. Other than that, thank you for listening. Happy wargaming.